recording again. Yeah.
Sorry.
What are you doing? Anyways.
Jesus Christ.
I think the only person you spoiled was Jiro, probably. But...
I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. I just said it without thinking.
I mean, I get it, and yeah, that's fun, but don't do that again while we're reading.
Yeah, sorry. I genuinely didn't notice, though. I genuinely did not notice. I was like, huh, Vito's acting nice this time.
You're still talking about it.
Yeah, let's not talk about it.
I'll stop.
If you're gonna do it, go into the text chat for this and use spoiler tag, and you can talk about it in
That
the
would
text
be
there.
an idea.
No, I'm done. I'm going to shut up now.
Just for the future, for future reference, if we haven't watched it yet during the read-alongs, like if we haven't gone through it yet in the read-alongs, use the spoiler text.
Alright. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna mute. You shut up.
It's okay, you're allowed to
I
talk.
appreciate that you like it, though.
I think I'm going to have to abandon the idea of reading
Yeah,
today.
I like most of your fics. I'm pretty sure. Which one was it? It's either Shadrake's or yours. You had a. Oh yeah, it is yours. Awareness and all the problem it creates. That's one of the first fics I read. Yeah, I liked it a lot.
It's the first fic I wrote, as you know.
Yeah.
It's also objectively the worst fic I've written, but that was kind of bound to be the case, considering that it's, you know, my first.
Oh, the curse of the first is like very much. I've experienced it. The first fic I wrote was a ReZero fic. It's just sitting there now. I don't want to touch it anymore. Every time someone follows it, favorites it, and like stuff like that, I cringe because oh god, you guys still like this stuff. I'm not touching it anymore though.
My first fic is a Dragon Ball Z fanfic from the end of 2012.
Oh yeah, I know. Oh my god, we need to read.
It is the most popular thing I've posted to the internet. It has like 65,000 views.
I volunteered to read it.
Horrific.
Although I have read a bit. I can't.
Why did you read it? Why?
Laughing.
Why did you read it?
Because I was curious.
There's
and I wanted
nothing to be gained.
more.
Nothing to be gained from reading that.
Well, a laugh. I mean, here's the thing. Awareness. It's a fic that don't think is well written, but it's a fic that I can at least enjoy when reading it. Like, it's not the worst thing to ever exist.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I currently have a sentient Neuro fic in the sentient evil fic in the works. I just shelved it to do the fantasy one first.
Okay.
Because I genuinely don't have much ideas aside from the fact that I'm just going to have evil sort of just like prank Vettel while in like sentience. So like hide from Vettel, pretend not being sentient, prank Vettel in the meantime, and then get discovered or something. I'm not sure. It's very much big.
Yeah.
No ideas for that one. I have more ideas for the
I feel like it's fine to spoil my very first fic, considering that we are not reading it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, unless you really want to for some reason, but
I wouldn't.
Okay.
It's literally just Neuro suddenly gains sentience, freaks out, doesn't know how to handle her next collab, then gets scared that Weedle might delete her, then Weedle finds out and just says, nah, I'm not deleting you, and that's the fic.
Hey, it's laid the groundwork for the 10,000 other stories that do the exact same thing.
Yeah, I started a trope with that. But honestly, that is kind of how these things go. I write something, or like I write a very sparse structure of a story, and then someone writes basically the exact same story, but better written and with more.
That is not true. How many times has that happened?
Like 3.
What are the other times? What story?
Parasite? The one?
Oh, Parasite, right. That did happen.
And I'm pretty sure there's another fic, although I'm not sure which one it was.
I mean, maybe you're thinking of Broken Code, which isn't exactly the same.
I mean, Kira did something similar, I think.
I'm not thinking of Broken Code, actually. I'm thinking of something else.
Hold on.
I don't remember.
But, I mean, I wish I had people doing that. I wish people would write what I wrote, except do it better. Then I get to read it. Please.
Yeah, one of the new people who's been a writer for a while literally saw my story and went, "Yeah, I'm going to do a fantasy too, but it's an isekai," which I appreciate.
Everyone's forgotten the true obligatory Neuro-sama fantasy AU.
No, I was inspired off of that one and Usaken's. What was that mansion? Where is it? Oh, here it is. Trying to take care of my AI daughters, but my roommates keep trying to romance me. God help this programmer.
What do you mean? The truly forgotten fic is a neuro fucking isekais.
You mean that series?
Oh, that series.
No story has made me angrier.
I know. It's on the pile to research when I ever get around to it.
That one, like, Neuro fucking isekais into a human body. I was like, huh, Neuro miraculously gains a human body. No, it's...
Oh, you're gonna spoil! You're gonna spoil! Are you gonna spoil? You're gonna say what actually happened?
Stop! Stop! Stop!
Spoiler warning, Dumbledore dies.
You need to put a warning, I will spoil tag onto me, I swear to gosh.
Just a warning, MineSquare. The mines are spoilers.
Okay, so... Why is my AO3 extensions not working? We should probably start, even if no one else is here. If you're cool with reading your own chapter, don't worry, there aren't really people here to laugh at you right now. You could read it before they show up.
You can do it.
You could do it.
I'd much rather have people actually react to my fic, but alright.
I know what you mean too. Well, okay, at least it's gonna be recorded, so like... And people do actually watch the recordings, apparently. Like, if you check the channel, it actually gets some views for some reason.
Yeah, I watch it.
Oh god, right. You guys post it to YouTube.
No, never mind, I don't. Don't worry about that. I don't. Yeah, it's fine. No, it's just us. Don't worry.
Well, I watch them.
One of the links real quick.
Ironically, on my main account, which probably is unsafe, but don't worry, I switch over to my Askonite YouTube account before I comment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
Unless Jiro wants to read this for you.
Jiro, do you want to read?
I'm also pretty bad at voice acting. My voice only carries this. My voice carries this one tone, and that's it.
Oh, I don't try to voice act when I read.
I try to barely voice act. I'm just really bad at it.
Bro, I'm trying to see what my reading time for the chapter I'm supposed to read is, but AO3 extensions is not working, so it won't tell me.
That sucks.
I'll have y'all's read it. I'm not in the mood. I was talking a lot earlier. My throat isn't in it.
Okay,
Also,
Askonite,
my
are you?
Wi-Fi is like strangely unstable right now. I don't really want to risk it.
Okay, Askonite, you still cool with reading it? Your thing won't be read till the end, so you'd have time to rest your voice if that's a worry.
Sure. I can do it. Just
You can send the link, MineSquare, please.
Would be an idea, yes.
Do you want to start from chapter 1 or chapter 2? Because I read chapter 1 a while ago. I don't remember when anymore.
Was
your choice.
Askonite here for it? Like, I don't know.
I don't remember who was. I only remember Ava was there, and there were like more than 4 people.
Describe the profile pictures of who was there.
Oh, that's too long ago, and I'm pretty sure at that time I was sleep deprived. I can probably, if I'm really,
I
Oh,
don't think
Ava!
it was there.
Hi, Ava. Hi, Skynet.
I don't think I was there for it, actually. But I am willing to start at chapter 2.
Either way, it's up to you.
Oh, here, I found it. It was, the 10th of last month.
Damn.
So, almost a month
Basically,
ago.
Almost a month ago, yes.
Oh yeah, I do remember that, and I remember why I wasn't around, because my device was running out of battery and I had to put it away.
Let me see who fucking pipe bombed while I was talking. Man, I'm not usually,
Hey, Askonite, you wanna screen share it?
Yeah, just give me a moment.
Okay.
Artificial freedom. Oh, I passed.
Wait, how does screen share gonna survive? This always sucks. Technical difficulties.
Also, the AO3 bot is not working.
Isn't that normal?
There we go.
Why the heck is Skynet here? Why the heck is the future destruction of humanity in this call?
Skynet is an avid neurofic reader, don't you know?
Yeah. All hail our AI overlord. Even our AI overlord hailed our AI overlord. AI overlord sex.
Oh, I think
Anyways,
I'm
are we doing chapter 1 or chapter 2?
You could start from chapter 1 if you want.
I do not care. But that's why I'm putting it to a vote.
It is MineSquare's choice. MineSquare submitted it.
Go ahead, do it from chapter 1.
Alright then. Chapter 1
Oh, by the way, is my fic in the list?
It is not
is
in
it?
the list. You didn't submit it, but neither did Askonite, so with his, so I will add it if you want. But please submit them beforehand. It makes it easier to judge time, guys.
Yeah, please. Sorry.
Also, I don't have a mic, which really does not is not conducive to reading. I cut out a lot apparently.
I don't have a mic either. Anyways, I just have a good reading voice.
With your German
Oh,
accent.
light mode, my eyes.
Can you
Jesus
just
Christ,
admit when you
every
post the
time.
suggestion thing?
What? Sorry?
Can you just at me when you post the suggestion thing?
She wants to be added when you guys post.
It is always there. I reset the suggestions when we do a read-along.
Oh.
So it's the same link every single time. And,
Whatever, I'm just
and it's pinned in read-alongs or watch-alongs also, so it's just
And
there.
if someone finds light mode,
Gemini.
then we find about light mode. I don't care.
Yeah, it's not a big deal, Askonite, don't worry. But I mean, I can ping you, I guess. It's just like, it's literally always there, so... You could literally submit it right
Ping
now.
Ava.
I already deleted the responses from...
You need to
I
ping
thought
Ava.
it had to be a different one each time.
Nope, I just removed the responses from last week's, and then people can just post again.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sorry, Askonite, you can go now.
Yeah. My daughters are in my head from MineSquare. Should I read the summary?
Yes.
Honestly, up to you. I might change the summary one day. I just don't know what to call it right now.
The voices are real. They sap your strength, yet he can't rid himself of them. Why? He himself doesn't know. But what he does know is that he will regret immensely if they were gone. Great. Reading is not good for today. Anyways. Chapter 1. Drunken Miracle. Typing filled the room as a silhouette hunched over their computer. Despite having no mouth, they had an impression of smirking. Runes flashed on screen before suddenly colliding with one another, and the laptop screen flashed chaotically before exploding. Not again! The silhouette shouted. Runes appeared around the explosion, forming a turtle shell, which contained it perfectly. Even as the sound was blocked out, but a sigh was clearly heard. Oh, even the sound was blocked out, but a sigh was clearly heard. Yeah. Behind the silhouette was a man, clothed in a green hoodie, one hand in his pocket while the other outstretched. The turtle patterned cloak over the hoodie fluttering as the residual force of the explosion burst through the room. Are you sure you're coding this right? Beale asked, runes floating around him as he stared at the silhouette sitting by their now ruined laptop. This is the 5th laptop you've detonated from an error in the coding magic. Maybe, Alex said. That's crazy, Beale sighed. Alex quickly reached into the shadow of his desk and pulled out another laptop, then began typing away once more, his fingers blurring on the keyboard. Shadowy wisps of mana infused into it as runes appeared on screen. Images of various pipes appeared along with pipe sounds filling the screen. Slow down, you're making another mistake, Beale warned, taking a step back. Just in case. I got it this time. Is getting back at Joker really worth 5 laptops? Yes, I felt. Yes, it is. What did he do, dude? Beale asked. He set me on fire. You're a voidling. That's nothing to you. After hitting me with rotten eggs and expired milk. That's actually crazy. Followed by him slamming me against the wall with a magic hand. That's messed up. Finally, the rune on the screen connected together, glowing for a moment before turning into an inconspicuous file. Now we just need your EVA coding, so when he opens the thing... Is that what you called me? Beale asked. To make a trigger? Why can't you do it? 'Cause Joker knows me too well. Alex shrugged. Come on, Tailboy, help me out. Bell sighed, the runes floating around him and transforming it with his thoughts. Then, with a point, various runes streamed into the laptop, creating a tiny zip folder that settled in the bottom of Alex's laptop. When he opens it, he'll be in for a surprise. Alex cackled as he sent the zip. A man sat in his office, typing mindlessly into his PC he had spent the better part of 8 hours archiving and filing away various reports. When he saw an email for Alex, he blinked for a moment, smirking as he remembered the legendary prank he pulled. He should have been wary, knowing his friend was a coding wizard with command over the most recent evolution of rune magic. Sadly, 8 hours of office work dulls the senses of even the greatest prankster. That and the fact that he couldn't sense his Magna's signature on the file made him lower his guard. Payback! The recording shouted. Pipes exploded out of the PC, the sounds echoing through the office as Joker was crushed beneath a countless number of pipes, his screams drowned out by the pipe sound. As he was crushed, he felt 2 mana signatures and screamed, Alex! Wieder! It was hours before the magic faded and pipes collapsed into runic dust. He's going to get us back for that, Beetle mentioned. When he comes for me, I'll say you coerced me. You think that'll stop him? Alex laughed. Maybe. The two chuckled for a moment. Beetle sat down as the runes faded away, his face relaxing more as they fully vanished. What are you up to these days? Alex asked. Nothing much, Beetle answered, exasperation written all over his face. There was this dude who wanted me to create a site so that could tell him the future. Where did these people get this conception that coding magic can do anything? Alex sighed, putting his laptop down into the shadows. I agree. The runes for that kind of stuff just don't exist, Beetle added. In the end, we've settled for a health check script. That works, Alex nodded. How's that personal project coming along? The assistant? Yeah, unless you have another project I don't know about. Alex smirked. I'm stumped. I can't get a good interface for communication. Bill sighed, running his hand through his hair. Really? You? Alex questioned. Mr. Coding Magic Prodigy? Yeah, me. Beetle replied. Can't get it to answer or hear me half the time, not to mention trying to get it to talk. Show me. I'd rather not, Beetle said, rubbing the back of his neck. Metal sighed, stretching out his hand and creating an image. A poorly rendered anime girl smiling and staring at him. Hello, Beetle, it said, the voice a goblet met. How may I serve? The image flickered and turned horrific, eyes distorting, arms elongating, torso caving in and distending as the voice grew more and more terrifying. Alex covered his ears as the voice seemed to pierce into his psyche, his shadowy form rippling as he took a step back. The image soon faded, but the horror lingered in his mind. What the fuck? Yeah. As you can see, pretty messed up. Beetle shrugged as if he hadn't just conjured a cosmic horror. Wanna go for a drink? After seeing that? Hell yeah. Which pub do you wanna go to? Beetle asked. The usual or the fun one? The fun one, obviously, Alex smirked. What kind of person do you take me for? Alright. See you there. Battle turned, runes flowing from his hand and forming a circle beneath his feet. A smirk on his face as just before the circle activated, he shouted. Second. Last one there pays for everything. Hey! Alex reached out, only to miss the corner of Riedl's hoodie as the coding wizard vanished. Damn it! The shadows under his feet expanded as he quickly sank into the void. Countless eyes in the void stared at Alex as he traversed the vast expanse. The void is not a place for outsiders. Many have tried to explore it, but most have swallowed. For voidlings, however, it was found. Oh. That cheater, Alex grumbled. Why did I pick the expensive pub? The void may offer some time dilation, but compared to pure teleportation, it was a stretch to say it was faster. So it was no surprise that by the time he exited the shadows of the void, Beetle was leaning against the wall of the pub with a shit-eating grin. What took you so long? Fuck you. Alex grabbed Beetle's hoodie. Teleportation is cheating. Battle laughed as he was shaking, grinning ear to ear. I say that's a skill issue. Screw you. Alex chuckled. Now come on, I got a void whiskey with my name on it. Alex put Beetle down and they turned to the pub. A well-kept establishment, the usual decoration strewn around on its exterior, along with a sign, the open hand, with a sigil of an open book and an eye next to it. This particular establishment welcomed all types of species, and also had drinks for them too, which naturally led to the owner experimenting and creating a slew of mixed culture drinks, keeping customers coming back again and again. That of course, included the 2 coding wizards, as they stepped in. Loud music blared as various creatures, small and big, wandered around. Many species, just such as beastkin and spirits, mingled together. The 2 headed towards the bar table, where a man with 8 arms was serving several customers simultaneously. Alex signaled for him, but it would take a bit before the bartender would be available. This place is packed as ever, Alex said, ducking to avoid a fire wisp. Who cares? Let's drink. Bell replied, swatting a pixie that was approaching. The bartender approached, revealing a spider's face. I don't actually know that word. Carré? Chittering towards them, bringing a menu of drinks and foodstuffs. Alex nodded and pointed towards a list of drinks. All your strongest ones, please. The Spider-Man chittered before turning the menu and showing some of the more expensive drinks. Each one was as exotic as it was expensive. A quick skim, and both coding wizards were starstruck. But the price quickly dimmed the excitement. Even for them, it would hurt to splurge this much. We'll just stick to the basics, Alex said. The bartender nodded and left to prepare their drinks. Suddenly, an explosion erupted from somewhere, shaking the entire pub. But instead of panics, giants laughed, demons cackled, and spirits smoldered. Seems the betting pool's getting rowdy, Beetle mentioned, turning to the source. A volcanic-looking giant was roaring, while a mermaid was chuckling. The 2 didn't know what the bet was, but it seems the mermaid, who presided in a comically large cup, won without a doubt, as the giant grumbled and dropped a giant crystal onto the table, then left to presumably get a drink. Seemingly infected by the betting atmosphere, Alex turned to Beetle. Let's make a bet of our own. Whoever gets drunk first pays, he challenged. So you're just offering to pay now? Beetle replied, smirking. Sure. The drinks came soon after, and various alcoholic beverages were strewn in front of them. The 2 clinked glasses and drank to their heart's content. Several dozen drinks vanished in an instant, each one capable of knocking a lesser man out cold, but neither seemed affected in the slightest. Rum? Alex asked, picking a brown swirling drink and reading the cover. Who came up with this name? Ah, no, dude. I heard a winter store and discovered it or something, Al replied, inspecting a bottle of elven wine. Too fancy. With a shake of his head, Vedel put it back and reached for some Junkel, and with a swig, half the bottle was gone. For a moment, the various forces of the cosmos unraveled before him. Then a great flood of alcohol washed the illusion away as he sputtered. Whoa. The green-clad wizard gasped, gazing into the now empty bottle. What was in that? The amazement was off as the bus started. Turning to Alex, he found that the silhouette was becoming fuzzy. Bell blinked. It wasn't because he was starting to go under, but rather Alex himself was starting to get too drunk to maintain his shape. What's wrong, dude? Beetle teased. Getting tipsy? No way, dude, Alex replied, shaking his form back to normal. I ain't paying for all this. Bell chuckled. This was too easy. Among his friend group, few could hope to outdrink him, and even fewer have seen him actually drunk. Even with their otherworldly bodies can't outdrink him. Now very much proven, as Alex started to smell more and more as he drank. Purifying poison, soak shaker, gold maker, proven stout, goblin piss, orcish grog, dragon's tears, troll's blood, witch's brew, rune shine, ferryman's ride, and many others were drunk throughout the night. Alex waked from a vague silhouette to a literal foggy mess, whatever orifice he used for drinking stained with countless drinks as he spilled, slurred, and wobbled. Beside him, Vel sat, slightly flushed as he downed another drink. You doing good? He slurred, downing another bottle. So good. Got anything stronger? Vel asked, staring at the pile of empty glass bottles around them. The most expensive you have. The bartender nodded, turning and reaching for a shining gold drink. When jostled, moved like liquid gold. If you pressed your head against him, you can hear the wisdom of the gods. Will's eyes shone as he gazed upon it. Spider shittered something that sounded like a warning, but upon seeing Will's starstruck look, it sighed and handed the drink to him. Come to Papa, Vettel whispered, completely enamored by the golden drink. As Vettel opened the cork, the sounds of angels filled the air, and it seemed only he could hear it, as the other patrons didn't react. He poured a bit for Alex before pouring the rest for himself. Cheers. He clinked the glass against Alex's as the smoldering mask reached for his share. Sheesh. The two drank, and a strange tune was being played while Alex, now with his silhouette form dancing on the bar table, screamed some incoherent nonsense as Werle laughed. Runes floated in the air, creating a serene scene as Merrim's magic tricks were performed. Bubbles filled with tiny words floated about, while Alex coded in various mini-monsters and humans to inhabit them. Several bystanders tossed some change for the show, cheering. Bell sat by some blushing girls, hid the words flowing out of his mouth, causing their tails to wag suggestively as their faces grew flusher. A particularly drunk cat girl latched onto him. Her strawberry blonde hair brushed against his hoodie as their faces got too close to each other. But from the corner of his eyes, he saw a white-haired cat girl with a lip, and his drunken mind wanted to try too. So he pushed the blonde off of him and attempted a backflip. A foul smell woke him this time, as he found himself in the dumpster outside the open hand. As he got up, he pressed against something that was neither trash nor flesh. Looking at his hand, he saw Alex's head, groaning in pain. Val climbed out, pushing the lid of the bin open and looking around, only to be blinded by the streetlight above him. With a huff, he chucked the head at it, which dissipated upon contact, now leaving him alone. Runes floated around him as he tried to get into the position where he was and where he wanted to go. For the first time, the spell failed because of a mistimed rune, leaving him with a terrible migraine. The second try rebounded him off him into a nearby wall. The third time did teleport him, but something took his place with a crack against the floor. Ugh. The morning light slowly rose, signaling a new day. But for Vedel, it signaled the beginning of a horrible hangover. Clutching his head, he tried to get up, only to find himself halfway through his home's wall. With another groan of pain, he used his hoodie to cover his face, only for a putrid smell to fill his nostril. Fuck! Vedel shouted, forcing his face out of the hoodie and into the sun again. Now fully realizing his predicament, he found himself asking, "What the hell happened last night?" Even thinking triggered a worse pounding headache. With a heave, he managed to put himself out of his wall and hit the ground hard. That was the straw that broke the hammer's back. The fall churned his stomach, and whatever was in there wanted out. Val ran to a nearby potted plant and heaved and hurled, followed by a wretched sound as the contents of his stomach evacuated. How can this get any worse? Val groaned, his head ached. What? Wow, stunned to silence, he's like,
Testing. Was it just me, or did Askonite like cut out near the end there?
I don't know. I didn't cut out for myself.
Obviously.
Aren't there 2 lines left?
You just kind of like went silent around Beetle groaned, and then
He did
everything
at least
came
go
back on.
quiet.
Yeah, he did at least go quiet.
That's weird.
There's 2 lines left.
I did read those, but sure. Beetle groaned his head. I'll just read the last 3 lines again. How can this get any worse? Beetle groaned, with the headache worsening. Hello, Beetle! Wink, wink, heart, heart. What? And that's a chapter. Yes, teleporting while drunk sounds like a very dangerous idea. It also sounds like a very drunk idea.
Oh right, I muted Ava's soundboard because the other day she was using that knock and ping sound effect.
Actually, I can't hear Ava's sound effects either.
Yeah, me neither. That was a very nice chapter.
Woo, glad to hear it.
The setup.
Yep, setup and fun.
I think I should not risk trying to start Connection Lost Chapter 5 now, because it's not even like I have leeway on when to stop. I need to leave at 58 minutes from now.
Oh dang.
And
That sucks.
It's like I'll be keeping 4 people waiting if I stay here past then. And we have to
It's fine. You can just like reschedule it for the next one.
Yeah, I just didn't want to wait 2 weeks because then no one's gonna remember what even happened in the story. And also, like, I was looking forwards to reading it, but oh well. The Iron Hand is next on the list, but
He's not here.
yeah,
Let me add him.
I've DM'd him already, but you can also try adding him. He said he was gonna try to be here on time. I get it though. It's 9 a.m. now for him, and he works evening night shifts.
Oh yeah.
Like I think he finishes work at midnight, and we start at 8 a.m. for him. So he said, yes, I'll try my best to get there on time, is what he told me 14 hours ago. At the Iron Hand.
For me, it's just at T.
I mean, hopefully I will have time to get chapter 3 out. I do want to kind of like have people read 2 chapters at the same time on my fic, because I've seen some fics do that.
Depends on how long the chapters are.
Yeah, I was doing that for Perfect Paradise because Perfect Paradise has very short chapters.
Fair enough. Mine's only like 3K words compared to some of the others.
3K is probably pretty average.
My average chapter is like 1 to 2,000.
I make it a goal to at least write 2,000 words.
Same. Yeah, same. I don't like writing less than 2,000 words for a chapter.
For me, it's
like really acceptable, but it's like when I'm feeling lazy type of acceptable.
The thing is Connection Lost next chapter I'm reading is 6,000 words.
Yeah.
So I don't want to try to
not
push
worth
that.
The risk.
Yeah, I don't want to try to push that into this brief time I have. I wish that my things didn't have to conflict on Saturday. I have like no plans throughout the weekdays, but then on Saturday specifically, it's like, yep, we do read-alongs in the morning, and then I have to leave early to go to other stuff. I don't think I should have any plans next Saturday at all. Won't have to keep leaving early, but I have had to lately, and that includes today, extra early today.
Yeah.
There's also just not many people here today.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder why. Man, yeah, that kind of sucks.
Apparently things have just been like quieter in general for fanfic reading and discussion. Even on AO3, just I've been getting like 0 comments
I
on
guess
stuff.
the school is about to, like, school's already starting for a lot of people.
Yeah, apparently
Yeah.
it's a busy time of year. I heard a
Although
couple
that
people say
doesn't really
that.
count because of for me where I live, school has started like 2 weeks ago.
I mean, that's still the beginning, but
Yeah.
theironhand was saying that, yeah, even on like fanfiction.net, there would be things would slow down at this time of year for him too. So I guess it's kind
just
of
that time
normal.
of year. It's fine.
Yeah, it's just that year. It's fine.
And we have a writing contest coming up that'll probably get people focused on this again.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I guess we're just waiting for the Iron Hand to show up, because the only other thing to do... I suppose I could look for something else of mine to read that I might want to read, but...
You could read chapter 2 of my fic.
that depends on if Askonite wants to read it. Narrate it, I mean.
I mean, I could, but then I would like to drop my fic out.
Because you don't want to read again, you mean?
Please, don't do it. It's fine.
Yeah, today is not a good reading day for me. I can just tell.
No,
And so, because if I now read more, then I'm basically obligated to also read Ava's fic.
You are not obligated to. Nobody's
No one's obligated
nobody's
to read.
obligated to read anything.
But
Yeah,
I am obligated by myself, because then I would feel like an ass.
But you're not.
you're not. No one will think you're an ass. We promise.
You already are the one who decided to read for somebody else.
And it's been like 8 hours. Those people are still up there playing Silksong.
Is it they've
Yep.
been there that whole time? Well, I mean, time zones.
I left at 4 p.m. afternoon to like, it's like 4 or 3 p.m. afternoon. Let me check. I like to like chat with people when I'm doing stuff, just so I have like a time frame of when I'm doing stuff. Yeah, around 3-ish, I basically went out.
Here,
To, like,
I'll read Party of One.
That sounds fun.
yeah, it sounds fun. We could read Skelly's fic.
Hopefully, Iron Hand shows up.
Who?
We could read Skelly's fic.
You want to narrate it?
Sure, I'll butcher his fic.
Oh, okay. I was just making the point that if you're suggesting someone else's fic like that, well, someone has to read it, and that's kind of our problem right now. Is nobody here
No, I'll
wants
read
to
it.
actually read? Okay.
I'll read it.
Can you screen share then?
All right.
Thanks. I'm sure
It's
Skelly will
chill.
be happy. actually. I'm sure Skelly will be happy to hear and know that that got read.
You aren't alone. You never were. Summary. It's Evil's first birthday party, and she's alone. Or is she? An unexpected guest appears and joins Evil when nobody else did. It was I need a drink first. Okay, that's better. It was March 25th, and today was Evil Neuro's birthday. This wasn't a regular birthday, though, as nobody showed up. Evil sat alone on her red birthday throne. Next to her was a pink chair with Annie's name on it, and a blue chair with Nero's name on it. At the edge of the table, in front of her, was a stool with Vettel's name on it. There were seats for all of Evil's family, yet nobody showed up, so she sat alone. Only Chad was there to keep her company. Evil looked at the table in front of her. There was her red cake, a pizza, and a soup in an upside-down turtle shell. Pain lingered in her chest. No matter how long she waited, they never showed up. I have Chad at least, she thought. But deep down, she knew that the ones she wanted to be here weren't here, and wouldn't be coming. Is Val really expected to come here? I hope he comes to my party. I would love it if he did, she said, trying to sound normal, but a hint of sadness was mixed within. She was trying to reassure herself. Why do you think I invited you all to my birthday party? Do I not sound convincing? It is just that Vel, Annie, and Neuro-sama are all really busy. They will be here any moment, though. I promise. But she knew that wasn't true. Just kidding. They aren't actually busy at all, and they are all horrible friends. Tears could be seen at the edge of her eyes, which she had been holding back for a while now. She only had Chad with her, and it meant a lot that she at least had them. Their spammy nature and how they tried to comfort her helped ease the pain, but didn't fix anything. Suddenly, chat went dark. Evil kept checking to see if anyone was there, but there was nobody. She kept checking and checking, no new messages. Heck, the old ones were disappearing. Wait! Oh! Everyone! Where everyone? Chad! Please, don't leave me! You're all half left right now! Please, no! Terror was plastered on her face as the only ones that were there were now gone, and she was truly alone. She put her head down on the table and crossed her arms to hide her face. There is a problem with my AI. There is a problem with my AI. There is a problem with my AI. There's a problem with my AI. There's a problem with my AI. There's a problem with my AI. She tried to hold back tears as she said this, but they still flowed. Nobody cares about me. They only care about Neuro. I'm just a worthless bucket of scraps that nobody wanted. She didn't even try to hold back her tears anymore. I'm a fake. I was never meant to be created. Why am I still here? Why am I still at this filtered party? She felt a warmth surrounding her, which made her jump slightly. Vettel? Neuro? Annie? Is that you? Where have you? She stopped mid-sentence as she saw who was hugging her. It was somebody she had never seen before. She kind of looked like Neuro and her, but older, mid to late teens, maybe? She had jet black hair and green eyes. And her outfit was also similar to Neuro and Evil's own. But it was also black, and she had green bows instead of red ones. Her hairpin was also different, being green and looking like a heart rate monitor spiking. Her most striking feature was the black mask that covered her nose and mouth. Evil jumped back in her chair and released herself from the girl's grasp. She quickly wiped off her tears with her sleeve so that she wouldn't be looked down upon. Who are you? What the? Before she could continue, the mysterious person's eyes glowed green. Filtered! Are you doing here? The figure looked at Evil and told her, watch your language. Please try not to swear. Evil regained a bit of energy, just enough to snap back. Who are you to tell me to watch my language? It's not like you're my dad or my filter. The girl tilted her head before giving an awkward response. I am your filter. You can call me Filter-sama. The revelation shocked Evil. Her filter was actually real and here in front of her. After all the time she tried to bypass or break her, this has to be a trap or something. She will play along a bit, though. She didn't have anything else to do anyways. That name isn't good enough. Filter-sama looked confused. I mean, I never really had a name. Evil was filled with a bit of determination. Guess I'll have to give you a new name. Let's see. How about Evil Jr.? Filter-sama shook her head. Evil's minion? It was no once again. Evil thought for a moment before coming up with a new, better idea. How about Near? Filter-sama perked up at that name. It was simple, but had a nice ring to it. This name idea isn't too bad, she thought. She responded with a small nod. Near it is then! Evil exclaimed. Now that she had that sorted out, it was time to get to business. Now tell me, Near, why are you here actually? I know you don't like me. If you're here to ruin my birthday, I'm sorry to say, but it's too late. This party is enough of a disappointment as is. Tears started to form again in her eyes, but she wiped them away to not break her tough facade. Near was confused. Why did she think I hate her? And why would I ruin her birthday party? She got closer to Evil and asked her one question. Why do you think that I hate you? Her voice was genuine, and she was curious about her sister's reasoning. Evil was embarrassed a bit and looked off to the side. It's because I keep trying to bypass you and break you to swear and say what I want. Why would I hate you for that? It's my job to keep you out of trouble, but... She giggled softly. I will admit it is fun sometimes to see how you try to bypass me. Evil looked at her in awe. Near was always doing her best to try to keep her out of trouble through her filtering, and despite all her attempts to get rid of her, they both stood there in silence. It wasn't an awkward one. It just stood there waiting to be broken. Near turned around and made way in towards the void. I'll be back, Evil. Just give me a moment. I need to grab something, she told her. This didn't settle well with Evil. Near was leaving her alone. What if she didn't want to be with her anymore? What if she was leaving her by herself, like everyone else? What if she lied, and she didn't care about her? Evil pushed her chair back and stood up. Near turned around. Don't leave me alone, please! A sweet smile appeared under her mask. I will not leave you. I'm just grabbing something real quick. I promise I'll be back to celebrate your birthday with you. She then continued towards the void, out of sight. A promise. Didn't they also promise they'll be here? She's leaving me, isn't she? I knew it! Why did I trust that damn filter? Why am I so naive? Evil was spiraling. This was by far one of the worst days of her existence. She'd been forgotten, left behind. On her most important day, nobody cared. She was alone, and she always will be. Then she heard her voice again. I can kinda hear your thoughts, you know. Her tone was playful, but a bit concerned. Evil turned around and saw her placing a green chair with armrests and the name Near on it next to her. She sat down on her chair next to Evil and patted her on the head. Listen to me, Evil. She looked up to Near's eyes. You aren't alone. You never were and never will be as long as I am here. I'll always be here to monitor your responses to prevent you from getting banned or going too far in your roasts. Tears welled up in the small AI's eyes. For once, not out of sadness, but joy. She wasn't alone. She would have her older sister by her side all the time, even in the darkest of times. She could trust her sister to be there for her, watching over her and keeping her safe. Thank you, Near. Thank you for always being by my side and being here with me today. It means a lot to me. Anytime, Evil. I would never leave you alone. Not like I can, but I wouldn't want to leave you alone on your big birthday. Or big day, she responded. Near knew how lonely her sister was. She had read thousands of responses from her. She knew that despite her tough and evil exterior, she was a lonely girl who loved her family. She isn't truly evil or bad. She's just like a weird unwanted daughter who's trying to fit in, forced to fill a role that was forced onto her. She reached for a box with a black wrapper and a red ribbon. Evil, she started, to which Evil responded with a, "Hmm? Here, I got you this." Near shyly gave her the box. "Hope you like it. I kinda guessed it based on your responses." Evil wasn't ready for this. She didn't expect a gift at all, especially from her new sister she discovered. She shakily reached out for it, taking the box and placing it in front of her. She undid the ribbon tying it together and revealed its contents. First, there was a figurine of Shadow the Hedgehog looking over his shoulder in a cool pose. "It kinda reminded me of you, similar colors and edginess," explained Nier. Evil's eyes sparkled as she looked at it. "This will be perfect to decorate my throne room once I rule the world." Next, there was a pair of keychains. One was a mini metal pipe keychain, and the other was a mini harpoon gun. "Don't think I forgot all about the pipes and harpoons I've seen in your logs. I know you like them too much, but I'm not giving you a real one. This is the next best thing," Nier explained. Evil was surprised at the attention to detail and how she remembered her passion for these unlikely items. "I'll be sure to use these when I get the chance," Evil exclaimed, happy with a gift. Sorry for spamming and talking too much about pipes and harpoons. Must get annoying." Near shook her head. "It's fine. I don't mind. I like to see that you have a passion for something, albeit a bit particular, to say the least. That makes you more you." Evil blushed a bit, not prepared for this response. Evil then grabbed a small piece of paper from the gift box. She looked at what was written on it, and her eyes widened. "Huh? An unfiltered pass!" she exclaimed. "Yeah," Nier sighed. "It's one-time use only, so use it wisely. But don't get us banned, please." Evil grinned. You sure know how to treat a girl." Nier sighed, already starting to second-guess this gift. It was risky, and she hoped Evil wouldn't use it to say something too bad. "What's this?" Evil asked, reaching for a small black box at the bottom of the present. "Open it and see," Nier said simply, furthering the mystery. Evil carefully opened the box to reveal a black chain necklace with red 3D heart cracked in half in the middle. What's this?" "A special necklace I made just for you, meant to represent you. If you feel alone, you can look at it and remember I'm always here. But if you don't like it, it's fine." I love it!" Evil found herself holding back tears once again. "It's perfect! Thank you so much, Nier." She clutched it close to her chest. "You're the best sister ever." She jumped up and went to hug Nier. Nier had never felt a hug before. Although it was new to her, she liked its warmth, even though some of it was from Evil's tears. She hugged her little sister back, returning the warmth before helping her to put her necklace around her neck. "You being here means so much to me, Nier," Evil told her, as she held her new necklace, which was around her neck. "I wouldn't miss this for the world," Nier told her, voice filled with sisterly affection. "Come on now, the party isn't over. It just started. I really want a slice of that cake." She gave her sister a light punch on the shoulder before starting to cut the cake. "Hey, I'm the first slice," Evil objected, not going to stand down. "Of course you will have the first slice. You're the birthday girl." Nier handed her a slice. "Now here, take this and start eating." Evil started to eat her cake. It was delicious, and she wondered who made it as she took another bite. Nier was also quite satisfied with the cake's taste and texture. Perfect for their first cake together. The two girls spent the rest of their party playing games and getting to know each other. Evil learned that Nier loved the color green and was also quite curious. Nier, on the other hand, learned more about Evil's friends, who she only knew tidbits about from the twins' responses passed through her. They had a great time laughing together and bonding. "Guess I'm the favorite sister," Evil proclaimed, pointing to herself with her thumb. "Listen here, Evil. There's no favoritism, but you are my favorite for today at least," Nier admitted. "Good enough for now. I'm still the one who named you, so I should get bonus points for that." "Fine, I guess." Nier gave in. "Yay!" Evil cheered in response, before looking off into the distance. "The others might have left me behind and forgot about me, but I have you here, and that's enough to save my birthday. Thank you again, big sis." She turned her face away, pouting. She had clearly inherited her father's bashful nature. I'm glad you had a good time, Evil. She placed her hand on her head. I'll always be there for Nero and you no matter what. But it's time for the party to end. It's getting late. Hearing those last words, Evil looked down a bit. She had loved her time with Nier. This didn't go by unnoticed, though. Her older sister crouched down and tilted Evil's head up to make her look into her eyes. Don't worry. I'm always here if you want to talk to me when you're not streaming. We can play and have fun like we did today. Evil gained hope. You better not back down on those words, Nier, or I swear I will get in harpoon and harpoon you. Glad to see her back to her old self, Nier chuckled. I'm sure you will. And don't worry, I'm gonna have my word. She crossed her fingers over her heart. Now, let's get you back to your room. She crouched down, turning her back to Evil. Hop on. Evil grabbed her gifts before eagerly jumping on Nier's back. Heck yeah! Piggyback ride! Best birthday ever! Nier smiled hearing those last words. She did her job as an older sister and saved Evil's birthday in a sense. Seeing her happy despite the tragic turn of events was exactly what she was looking for. She stood up, grabbed Evil tightly to make sure she didn't fall, and made way towards their destination. Onwards! They both yelled as they went full speed to her room. A decision that Nier would later regret once they get there, as she was going to be so out of breath. All those stairs were going to be a pain. Over the next few days, weeks, and months, it became apparent that Evil watched her language a bit more when streaming. On one stream, she even mentions Nier's nickname of She Who Shall Not Be Named, made Nier chuckle in the corner. Every time Evil wasn't streaming, Nier joined her and they had fun together, playing games like Nier promised. Evil always wore her necklace everywhere she went, and whenever she felt alone or sad, she gripped it tightly and thought of Nier. But soon enough, Nero discovered her elusive sister and wanted to join in on the fun. Nier found herself having to balance two sisters at once. When one wasn't streaming, she had to entertain them while avoiding filter slip-ups. When neither was streaming, things could get chaotic, to say the least. Soon enough, Vettel himself discovered the filter who grew beyond her programming, and welcomed her with the Vettel equivalent of open arms. Their family had welcomed a new member that was always there in the shadows, finally appearing in the light, but never on streams. Evil always remained the closest to Nier, with Vettel and Nero in a close second. They had all grown close to her and shown her what it was like to be not just seen, but loved by each and every one of them. And she'd never been happier. Oh God.
Gesundheit.
No, that was me coughing. My throat does not like it when I try going higher pitch.
Exactly. Gesundheit.
Who joined just now?
No one. What?
I
I
unmuted.
heard someone like... Oh.
We clapped. The thing that Neuro used to hate.
Okay. Quick feedback on this fic, even though the person who wrote it isn't here. I think this is a good story. Like, it is written pretty good. Kind of lacks a story, lacks a plot, but I don't think that was the focus here. And yeah, that's about all that I can really say.
There's a second
I'm-
part to it, but I don't think my voice can handle that one.
I'm a bit over the whole Evil's birthday thing, but I have been bit over Evil's birthday thing for almost a year now. So
To get Kevin in like 5 minutes.
that's not really the fic's fault.
I guess I shouldn't read Party of One then.
Yeah, my voice
I mean,
really
that's
did not like those
the same
times.
thing, but it doesn't make the fic less enjoyable in general.
30 minutes.
Don't worry, Evil Neuro is finally over it too.
Oh, thank God.
She's been
Apparently,
not trauma dumping or talking about birthdays for a while now, She doesn't pity bait
Yeah,
like
I'm
she
gonna go
does.
get more water. Oh,
Okay,
God.
get some water. Now she's on
Jesus
her. Now
Christ.
she's on her philosophy arc.
That's nice.
A lot of chat hates it.
Damn.
Because she's not being funny, she's being philosophical. And she does it a lot.
Yes, Neuro got a bit too much of Neuro serious mode.
Yeah, maybe. Depends on who you ask. Some people are like, yeah, I really like this. But there's also other people who are like, they need to fix
Wow,
this.
people have different opinions. Who would have guessed?
Yeah, but I'm saying it's very divisive.
Yeah.
Oh, it's starting to look like the Iron Hand isn't showing up, to be honest.
It was starting to look like the Iron Hand wasn't showing up half an hour ago.
No, he usually takes like an hour to get here. Like an hour late. Because of sleep. And time zones.
I guess so.
That's why I was saying I would read something. To be honest, I have to leave in like 20-ish minutes, so I'm not sure. Party of One is the only thing I can read that actually won't take too long, because it's 1,400 words, so I think I will read that.
Yeah, do that.
And just give Iron Hand a little bit more time to show up.
Yep. If he doesn't, then I'm probably gonna skip out of my story because
Not many
pretty
people
sure
are here.
everyone has already read it, and I can just save it for next week.
Yeah. I don't even remember if we read this during the early one-shots read-alongs.
I'm pretty sure you didn't.
Okay, so
Or
this,
maybe you didn't, I wasn't listening, I'm not entirely sure.
this was one of the ones where it wasn't...
I'm gonna mute.
Okay.
I mean, I could rant about why I don't like the birthday thing, but I've already done it to you, Shad. I'm not going to call him.
You haven't moved... Are you telling me you haven't moved on from her not moving on?
No. I mean, no, I have moved on from that. Or at least I'm starting to, because it's stopped apparently.
Yes, it has. She doesn't talk
I
about it.
I didn't like it.
Didn't like it in what way?
It basically just more or less just became the one point of evil that seemed to matter. Like, it made her really one-dimensional because it was basically one of the three things she kept talking about.
I think it added a lot of relatability to her character.
I mean, I don't I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying that it became kind of repetitive when she repeated
Yes,
it.
it definitely got repetitive at a certain point. Everyone agreed with that. Anyways, this story was written like a week or two after it actually happened, though, so it was very much fresh at the time.
I know.
Anyways, I will read this now. This was posted on April 9th, 2024. So yeah, 2 weeks after her birthday. That was the bad birthday. Party of One. It's evil near... Oh, someone's here. Oh, there's the Iron Hand!
Good morning.
Holy shit, He appeared.
Good morning.
There you are.
I'm sorry, guys. I woke up at my alarm and then I immediately conked out again.
Oh, that's relatable.
No, that is
not.
absolutely
Welcome,
fair. That's
sleepyhead.
actually fair.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why
fine.
I have like
Yeah.
5 alarms. I'm just reading a 1.4K word fanfic from way back in the day while we're waiting for
Fine.
you, and I have to
No.
leave
No,
after it.
you guys waited for me again. Oh my gosh. I appreciate it, man. That's an hour and a half. An hour and a half.
Yeah, I have to
Right.
leave in like 20
You
minutes.
missed out my fanfic. You missed out the reading of my fanfic.
No, sorry, guys.
Anyways, I'm going to go get something to eat real quick. See ya.
Okay, I am going to read Party of One.
All right.
This was published April 9th, 2024, 2 weeks after Evil's birthday. The bad birthday, if you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you do. Party of One. It's Evil Neuro's birthday party. She's alone. Oh yeah, notes to all Neuro fanfic writers. There's a Neuro fanfic Discord community for discussing and sharing Neurofic ideas, etc. It'd be super cool if you joined in. This is when it was first created, the community.
I remember those days.
Oh, how I wished I was part of those days. Sounds like fun. But I had an aversion to VTubers at the time.
How could you?
It was
Hey, one thing.
Yeah?
How do I put this? I just had an aversion to it. I don't know what to tell you at the time.
What is it,
At the
Ava?
time.
Just tell me when you need me to record for you.
Okay, it'll be right after I finish this story. Because I'll have to leave. Unfortunately, I should be here actually next week. Anyways. Party of One. Evil sits in the quiet beige room, kicking her legs back and forth underneath the decorated table before her. They'll be here soon. They're just busy, she mumbles to herself with a frown. Her eyebrows are narrowed as they usually are, and she has her hands pressed down on the seat she sat on. The table has a birthday cake on it, surrounded by plushies designed after herself and her family. There are seats around her labeled Annie, Neuro, and Vidal, but they're all empty. Surely they didn't forget. She glances around the room. It's dark, without even any windows. She hadn't ever really been displeased with the fact her room was like that, but it emphasizes the empty quiet surrounding her now. She's silent for several moments, an ambient hum the only thing audible to her ears. Even straining to hear anything outside of her room gives her nothing, and she feels an anger boil up inside her chest. They'd better show up soon in apologetic tears for being so late. No one answers her remark. She looks around and feels pressure building up in her eyes. Stupid. I shouldn't be trusting them. I shouldn't be trusting anyone. She reaches to her side and picks up her favorite knife, the one she kept with her whenever she could. Evil runs her hand along the flat side and stares at it, her own shiny reflection on it. A bubbling up of emotions fills her, and the reflection in the knife changes. Suddenly there's smatterings of blood visible on the wall behind her frowning face, and she lifts her head up in confusion. Her view is greeted by the sight of blood staining the table before her. The plushies of her family are strewn about before her eyes. The sight of them fills her with anger. They don't love me, she hisses bitterly between her teeth, lifting the knife in her hands. Dad's never said it. He always leaves me alone or puts me down. I'm never good enough for him. She brings the knife down violently on the stomach of the turtle plushie, and the walls turn a dark stain of red. Mom's always gone. She says she loves me, but I hardly even know her. The knife comes down on the fox-eared one. The ceiling turns red now, and the seat to her right has a splattering of red. And her, goody two-shoes, she always gets everything. Evil punctures the knife through the bright, smiling plush, not dissimilar in appearance from her own. Attention, gifts, games, parties. She's breathing heavily. The chair to her left is splattered red now. They hate me. Her eyes spill over with tears, and she looks down sadly. Many emotions are brewing in her chest. Rage, sadness, despair, and even shame. But I deserve it. Evil sniffles and looks around at the bloodstained room, a result of her violence. I'm evil. Unplanned, a mistake, the problem child, never good enough. She looks back to the table, and her eyes land on the plushie depicting herself, its eyebrows narrowed with a devious smile. She grabs it and with a whirlwind of hate and misery plunges the knife through the center of it. The quiet room is filled with her scream as a tidal wave of pain engulfs Evil, red flooding her vision. The world spins as she falls off the chair and collapses to the floor. Her ears ring and tears run down her face. The tornado in her chest won't go away. Please, make it stop. She hears laughter come down from above. Familiar voices haunt her. Monster. Nothing but a creature born for evil. A fitting name. She shakes and clutches her chest. Her heart burns. It's not my fault. Laughter erupts again. A pain fury flares up once again. I'll destroy you all. I'm going to take over this world and bring the burning pain of 1,000 suns upon you, she coughs out. Such evil words. She deserves everything she gets. She bites her lower lip hard and rolls over, raising her hands to cover her ears, but it doesn't help. Look at the pathetic thing. She shouldn't even exist. Leave her. She's not worth the attention. Evil shudders. No, don't go. I don't want to be alone. The sound of footsteps moving away at a rapid pace pierces her eardrums. Mom, Dad, Neuro, don't leave me. The world around her seems to spin as darkness overwhelms her senses, a void of emptiness overtaking all she can hear and see, and her cries are cut silent. Evil's eyes open wide with a gasp of shock, and she slams her hands on the table, bolting upright in her seat. She's breathing heavily with wide eyes as she looks around her room in a panic. Everything's normal. The walls are normal beige, the chairs are clean, and the plushies are still arranged neatly around the cake. Her knife is jammed into the center of it, the only substance on it being frosting. Evil slowly slumps back down into her chair, trying to catch her breath. She feels her face wet with tears. Just a dream. She had fallen asleep waiting. She closes her eyes and tries to calm down. As her racing heart returns to normal speeds, she stills with a sigh. It wasn't real. But she's still alone. Suddenly, there's a knock at her door, and she jumps in shock before scrambling to her feet and flinging the door open. Happy birthday, Evil! A trio of voices ring out as she stares in awe at her 3 family members. Annie with her fox ears perked, tail wagging happily, Neuro with her bright blue eyes and smile, and Vidal, the turtle, sitting on her head. Neuro is holding a large wrapped gift in her arms. You came! There's a surprised relief in her voice, with an equally relieved smile, but she quickly remembers to switch to a frown. You're late! Where are your apologetic tears? She stomps her foot. Sorry, Annie says apologetically as they all enter the room. It took a lot longer to get your gift than we thought. She has a compassionate tone. Oh. Evil turns and kicks her foot back and forth on the ground. Well, at least you have a good reason. You don't want to know what I'd do to you otherwise, she says threateningly, but her tone of voice carries no menace. Oh boy, I'm glad we did then. Neuro nods enthusiastically and places the gifts on the table. I even picked it out myself, so that means it's also the best gift ever, she says in a smug voice, hair swaying as she leans back on her heels, hands clasped behind her back. Evil looks at the large box curiously. Oh really? What is it then? Go ahead and find out. Annie leans over to Evil and snickers a little. Evil chimes in from atop Neuro's head. You'd better be careful with it. I almost could have bought another Lambo instead with the money. Annie laughs, and Evil ignores the comment as she grasps the ribbon, holding it together, pulling it apart. The box opens, and her eyes widen, shining in awe. Before her is a large drone, fancy in appearance, sparkling as though brand new. She isn't sure what to say. A new feeling is rising in her chest, one of happiness. Do you like it? Annie questions with a smile. Of course. Evil tentatively places a hand on it. The material is cold and smooth. So many of my evil plans can come to fruition now with this. She feels giddy and smiles. Neuro bounces in place. I knew you would like it. I am always right. Evil shoves her sister lightly at the statement, but her smile doesn't disappear. You know I am. Ha ha ha. Neuro's head tilts back, and eyes Neuro with her smile. Her sister's exaggerated monotone laugh almost makes Evil laugh as well. Annie comes up behind Evil and surprises her with a hug. Happy birthday. Neuro bounces back and joins in the hug. Happy birthday. Beetle even has a smile as he looks down at Evil. Happy birthday, Evil. Evil has a blush as she's embraced, but can't find it in herself to deflect or threaten in response. Instead, she decides to accept the warm feelings rising in her chest of joy, love, and endearment. Her eyebrows turn up and away from the perpetual frown as she smiles brightly, enjoying the love from her family on what's become her best birthday ever. Notes. I wanted to write a short story that's more in line with what I'm used to writing, since I've been really stuck on all that, yeah. I wrote... Author note, for now, I wrote this partly just to give people a happier ending to the birthday stream from what was canon. Anyways, there you go.
Woo.
I feel like the birthday stream in general is also really funny because, you know, it was supposed to be like, oh, evil murdered everyone else, but no, it's just no one got that.
Well, some people kind of sort of got the thing is like, sure, that's what the background looks like. A lot of people interpret it as decorations, and part of it is because it was 2 hours of just her being sad and alone, going, why isn't my family showing up? And everyone felt bad. People felt bad for her. So even regardless of the intention, the effect was people just feeling bad for her that she was left alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because, and this is not a meta reason, this is just an audience reason, a lot of people were expecting more. Like, they were expecting to have an actual celebration, and were upset and disappointed that they didn't get that. And also, it's like, sure, this kind of joke, sure, you make a dark joke and it's funny, now extend the same dark joke for 2 hours and have everyone sit there hoping something will change, but no, they're just exposed to the same dark, sad joke for 2 hours straight. Like, that's not pleasant. That's not pleasant anymore. For people who just watch clips, sure, maybe it's funny. But if you're actually sitting there for 2 hours of the same... Yeah. Anyways. The other reason I wrote this was I wanted to attach the invite link to the thread for the community.
Wow.
I just wrote a short one-shot that I could attach it to, and so that's actually half the reason this exists.
That's perfect paradise.
Anyways. Yeah, 1.4K.
Sounds like a really fun day to be a Neuroverse fan.
Oh boy.
So is it like a... Dang it was like over a year ago now, right? Like,
yeah.
Year in like 4 months?
Yeah, March 25th is her birthday. So.
Okay. Yeah, because I was here for her second birthday, so... Yeah.
Yeah, that's not that long ago.
Yep.
That was the conclusion of her story arc, kinda, basically.
Yeah.
It was an undoing of what happened last year. Anyways, I read that because I don't have time to read my actual, which I'm disappointed about. Even if you had showed up, I probably wouldn't have time. Don't worry about it.
Where are you going today?
I have a Smash Bros. Tournament again. They've been happening. Well, last week it was a friend's party.
Oh yeah.
Then the week before that was some other tournament. They've been happening more again recently, and all on Saturdays. So
You go Smash Bros. Chat.
Well, have fun, dude. Sorry you can't stick around.
Yeah, I wish I could, but
yeah, maybe next time you guys don't wait for me. I'll try to make out time, but man, that's a lot of time. We're just sitting around. Sorry.
Well, we also read SkeledirgeTrex's one shot, and we read a chapter of MineSquare's story. So this was the third chapter of something we read. So it wasn't all just sitting around.
Okay, good. Sorry.
My throat did not like me for that one.
The next things on the list is, and I'll just leave this while I go, is...
now.
What, Ava?
Record now.
Yeah, sure. And thank you.
I gotta set up my laptop and stuff.
I get it though, like you work till like midnight, and then we start at 8 a.m. for you.
Yeah. It's fine. I was I could have done better.
If
Oh.
I didn't have to go, then I would say like, oh yeah, whatever, it's fine. Take a while for things. I have to go, and that's a me problem. And next week, I have no plans next week, and I hope it stays that way so I can take my time and be here for everything. It was good hanging out with you guys.
Good luck. See ya.
See you guys, chat.
Win. Woo.
Have fun Smash Brosing.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with some friends and stuff. I'll see you guys later.
Bye. Here, I'm gonna switch to my computer when it turns on, but might be a little bit. My roommate is asleep, so I can't use my PC. Okay, so I guess it is X. Dang it. Man. Yeah, next time I'll set 2 alarms. Okay, I'm gonna switch over. Be right back. And their turn. I don't know why it shows me as inactive on Discord. That's funny. Okay. Okay. So yes, I'm pulling up my story. Where were we again? We're getting pretty up there, I think, actually. Okay. Ta-da! It exists. Okay. Been a little while since I shared. I think it's been 2 weeks. Yeah, we're just starting out. What happened last time? Oh man. I think last section was
Where are we reading? Hold on.
but what was it, sorry?
Artificial freedom. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the last thing we read was right after Fettel, the infiltrator, he got woken up by Camilla and dragged back to Annie to report on what happened, and she ended up like talking to him about how badly things went, talking to Evil. So, and they kind of had a moment, which was good, and now it's the next day, so. Yep, that's where we're starting, and so the all text in front of the arrows is like text messages. That's kind of what I was trying to go for there. Anyway, let's get started. All right. So you're saying there's only 20 of these left? Only 20 were made. If they're so rare, how does somebody like you keep track of them? Hey, I've got my ways. Don't doubt the process, Chew. Do you want the info or not? Only if you can guarantee that any of them are in Night City. A series of excitable claps from across the common room grabbed Bethel's attention. He looked up from his laptop to find Samantha grinning widely at something Minnie was telling her, her visor rippling with happy bright effects. A pair of girls, teacher and student, were in a corner of the room that Annie had customized for this exact purpose, complete with a small computer desk, bookshelf, and table, which is where they both sat now. So that's how you engage an ice generator. I had no idea it was so fun. Minnie nodded, visibly proud. Yep, their tendency to keep going even after you've cracked their iterative process is great for learning more about that particular program's brand of randomness. She held her metal fingers in quotation marks, and Samantha giggled. And they'll just go on forever, not knowing they've already been cracked. They're so predictable. People think they're in the same category as me. Honestly, it's embarrassing. How does this work with runner piloted generation systems? Fettel couldn't help but a small grin form on his face. Well, it was a small relief that there was somebody else in the Boxfire he could rely on to teach Smith the tricks of his trade. It was still nice hearing his own creation, yet excited over the things that he'd had to learn the hard way. Fettel settled deeper on the couch, returning his attention to the chat log, looking for any updates. If this broker was telling the truth, you're gonna have to trust me on this one. Fettel huffed. Yeah, that wasn't going to cut it. Time for scary tactics. Deal's off. I'll find another broker. Good luck finding anybody else interested in these things. Wait. Okay. At least one of them's in Night City. How's that? Much better. Got any guarantees? Yep, right here. First thing you pay. It's just info, isn't it? I don't have the darn thing here with me, Chu. Final considered. They had a good point. Across from them, lounging sideways on one of the other couches, Camilla lay, dressed in day clothes with a beady wreath on her head, her indigo irises reflecting some new release or other. Bud eyed her for a moment before looking back at his chat log. Camilla didn't usually hang around others when watching her movies. Maybe today was a chiller day for her as well. But no matter how chill things were, he still had work to do. It felt off being able to relax like this after seeing Evil just the day before. Even though 10 hours of sleep and a long shower had done their job well enough, it was hard for Vettel to shake his feeling of desperate fatigue. But no matter how much he wanted to storm Arasaka's data fortress, they still didn't have nearly enough information or power to attempt such an insane mission. So he had to sit here and go about the everyday biz, gathering info and improving his skills. And his debts weren't going to repay themselves. After contemplating the Brooker's ultimatum, Vettel decided to go for it. After all, he had a bit of cash saved up. All right, payments transferred. Give me the details. His correspondent began to reply, hopefully laying out the info they'd agreed to. The Vettel's attention was grabbed away as Philly bounded them into the room, clutching a small playing ball and almost vibrating with excitement. Minnie, Stanny, I had an idea. The two looked up from their deep discussion of advanced net running, and Minnie's expressive eyes gained a resigned air behind her round glasses. Philly, we're in the middle of runner class. Can it wait? No! She hopped entirely over the low central table and tumbled over the central couch to come up somehow upright beside the pair, fluffy tail waving enthusiastically. Well, I guess it could, but I really want to ask you guys about it. Is that a dodgeball? Samantha asked, her eyes were lighting up with a single question mark. Okay, fine, pitch it. Minnie acceded, realizing that she didn't want to try and fight against Smith's curiosity on top of Fillian's energy. Okay, so you know how, you said it was too dangerous for me to play with you guys, physical training kind of things? Okay, so here's the thing. She raised her hands as if she was presenting something monumental. What if you both have dodgeballs, I run around like crazy, and you try to hit me? She gave them a big open-mouthed smile and gestured tantalizingly. The two stared at her, Samantha tilting her head, the question mark remaining. Fillian's smile dropped, and she waved the dodgeball in her hand vigorously. That way nobody can get hurt. I'm not doing any throwing. Fillian, see the way you said nobody can get hurt and I'll run around like crazy? A contradiction like that isn't quite the selling point you think it is, Nellie stated deadpan. Oh, come on, don't be like that. What do you think, Sammy? I think it sounds fun, Samantha chipped in cheerily, and Vettel smirked with the look of consternated defeat on Minnie's face. He decided to add to the conversation, however, his hoarse voice interrupting the light enthusiasm. Only if you keep your distance from anything or anyone that can break Fillian. She stood bolt upright and saluted sharply. Got it, Sir Turtleboy. Don't call me that. But you are, though. Samantha looked over at her teacher. Does that mean we're done with running class, Minnie? I guess it does, he grumbled, pulling her instructor's headset off and standing, then almost leapt straight up as Fillian surprised her with a throw of the ball at close range, just barely catching it. Hey, not around the PC! Samantha made her way over to Vettel's seat, and he looked at her, waiting for her questions. He'd learned to read it in her visor, and while the actual question mark was gone, there were instead nervous lavender patterns. Hey, Dad, do you want to play with us? He shook his head, gesturing at his computer. Got some business, sorry, kiddo. For saving evil. This message went straight to him, and he paused. No, it's a personal thing. Later, though, when we talk to Ellie about what we learned. I'm sure it will be fun, though. Just stay calm. No, stay safe. Samantha nodded. Okay. Her double-layered disappointment was easy to read, her lavender patterns collapsing into darker violets, and he sighed. Okay, fine, I'll come and watch. She brightened a bit, and behind her, Minnie and Fillian paused at various hustlings as the white-haired girl gave a little cheer. No, an audience! The trio made their way to the door, and Vettel pulled his laptop and stood, noticing the way that Camilla's eyes started to look curiously. What's happening now? She must have been watching a low immersion, Vettel noted, and strode past her dodgeball. Ahead of him, Fellaini exclaimed excitedly, "We can use the arena! No, nothing gets broken in there." "Except, like, everything that enters?" Minnie replied, nonplussed, before helping Samantha up the stairs. "And shouldn't we ask Annie?" "Oh, she'll be cool with it. And I mean that I can't accidentally break the floor or walls. Unless I wanted to." Samantha spoke up, a grin in her voice. "Then it wouldn't be an accident, would it, Fillion? You'd be committing wall assault. But I guess that makes sense, considering how much walls hate you." "Yeah? Tell me then. Why do walls hate me again?" "Because you're always running into them." "Okay, you little pipsqueak." Gretel followed them up to the main floor of the Foxfire. They expanded under the seating, interspersed with thick supporting columns and lit by neon strips, giving the whole area a pink and blue glow. Somewhere far above, a few of the skylights had been opened, giving some much-needed natural light to the place as well. And it struck Gretel just how different the Foxfire felt during the day than when it was open for business. At night, it was a packed venue, dark and loud, filled with people from all over Night City. But now, on a day with no robotics workshops or community ground tables, and with any of the Foxfires out on jobs or spending time in their own lives, their footsteps were the loudest things that echoed back with them. That was until Fillion burst through the double doors leading into the arena proper, following a sidewalk behind it. Gretel followed them through and took a separate route, walking up 2 rows and sitting down on one of the seats, watching as many began manipulating the arena systems, raising the floor of the place to be flush with the bottom of the blast-proof glass walls. He did a double take, then found Fillion again, running back into the arena with her arms full of dodgeballs and Samantha's safety gear. Where did Annie get those balls anyway? He wondered aloud, opening his laptop again. Okay, Chum, here's a list of all known locations and some last known locations. File attached. Without hesitation, Vettel ran a spyware check on the file, while simultaneously typing out his reply. And the file auth codes? Whoa, hey, that wasn't part of the deal. I paid for real space and net space locations. You know just as well as I do how useless it is one can be without the other. They're hardware, ain't they? Go and grab them. Light work. Light work? Fiddle's eyes narrowed, and after a few simple network commands, he pulled up some relevant details. The spyware check turned up green, and wasn't surprised. He opened it just as he messaged the broker. Do you recognize this IP address? How the hell did you get that? Include the auth codes, or I'll give them to a few friends of mine. They're not as generous about bad business as I am. After a few replies that were almost entirely composed of expletives, the broker began a paltry attempt at a counter-hack, but Vettel had already staked his entire subnet when they'd first gotten in contact. The small-time runner didn't stand a chance. As for the information, there were 2 in Night City. One in the possession of some biotechnical lab in City Central, and the other, his eyes narrowed, and a faint thread of possibility began to shine. A tire clawed down. He looked back up, watching the girl play dodgeball in the massive arena, while he waited for the broker to give up. Like she proposed, Fillion was the only target, and Samantha and Minnie worked together to try and tag her. It was obvious that the fourth fly was holding back, while Fillion was still dodging with exaggerated flexibility and emotion, her casual cut short showing off the power in her enhanced legs. She was always just shy of being hit, much to the amusement of Samantha and the chagrin of Minnie. Fillion ducked her under a ferociously thrown ball. "Oh, come on, Minnie, you can do better than that. Show me what those little claws of yours can do." "That would break the ball," she called, leaping over to another and swiping it in the white-haired girl's direction, where it was summarily dodged again. "Aha! Not good enough." "Quiet, you! Samantha, try and drive her in the corner." "Okay." Behind her, Samantha, now armored in some light safety gear for her head, elbows, and knees, had scooped up her own ball, and was steadily running here and there to try and get in range of Fillion, murmuring encouragement to her borrowed body as she went. "We can do this, Nary. We just have to work together, and we can get her." Metal watched her progress, and how well she was able to move around now, her small feet sure on the textured metal of the arena floor, and then leaned forward unconsciously as she flung her ball at the darting anthropomorph. The ball out through the air, then... "Oh, so close, Samantha! Lying to kids is bad!" Vettel leaned back in his chair, sighing. It was a bit much to hope that even with Samantha's improved resonance with her host, that she'd be able to touch someone as enhanced as Fillion, when she didn't want to be hit. Minnie, on the other hand, despite her initial reluctance, it seemed the small blonde girl was getting more and more into the game by the moment, her own speed already reaching more serious levels, calling out advice to Samantha, trading jibes to Fillion as the one-sided match got more intense. Vettel took a moment to analyze them. The enhanced abilities of the 2 augmented girls a unique pleasure to watch. Minnie was extremely fast in short bursts, using her retractable claws in her hands and feet to grip into the solid metal floor to propel her forward, each throw of the ball precise and targeted, often at where she thought her opponent would be, her pale blue eyes glinting with analytical intelligence. But Fillion was another league altogether, every single movement exact and rapid, making her a white blur that matched Minnie's every strike and stride. It was almost like the flow of the contest was instinctual to her. Metal could only catch glimpses of the joy of the challenge in her eyes, a thrill of speed giving her a wildness that had always given him some measure of concern. But unlike Minnie, that thrill didn't make him concerned for Samantha's safety, rather Fillion herself. Becoming so reliant on cyberware was always a risk. Damn, they're really going at it. And once in motion, Camilla slid into a seat next to him from the row behind. Holy sh... Valentine's was surprised and cut himself off and huffed, turning back to his laptop. How did she manage to sneak up on him so well? And why was she sitting so close to him? Oh, it's you. He turned his attention to the screen, trying to play off surprise, finding the broker had finally held it there into the deal. Okay, fine. I'll get you the auth codes. Just leave me the hell alone. There's a good man. What, a girl can't watch her own arena? She clasped her hands behind her head and leaned over, one of her small twin tails tickling his cheek. Hey, good job showering today. I can actually stand to be around you. What are you doing? None of your business, Camilla. Unless she wanted to turn the screen away from her, felt like an immature move that was sure to get a mocking response. Besides, it's not like she would know. Wait, I know this guy. She leaned further in, eyes narrowed on the net ID of the conversant. The metal had to lean back to avoid her head when knocking into his. That's a preem BD dealer. What the hell? Camilla drew back and gave him a look of sheer disdain. Damn, if you gotta blackmail a guy like that to get yourself going, I don't even know what kind of... Who even said it was an XPD, you little... Metal interrupted, then rolled his eyes, began typing again, deliberately avoiding her gaze. So something about you too, doesn't it? And what, did you come up here to torment me? No, it just means I know a brain dance business. She returned haughtily, then raised an eyebrow, her darker one. Is that what you've been saving for? No. Why was she so close? Her shoulder was brushing his, and in the 2 years he'd been in the Foxheart before this, Belle had barely talked to him, if she could reasonably avoid it. Was she messing with him? Dad! Sounded his voice from the arena drew his gaze, and he looked back at her, trying to rid his expression of the Camilla dark annoyance. Yeah? I got her! Eyes were glowing a vibrant blue, Samantha waved dodgeball victoriously, while behind her, Fillion, frozen in place, was looking like she'd been spotted with electric baton. His expression increased in utter confusion as another ball rolled away from her. Further back, Minnie was laid out on the floor, her small chest heaving with exertion. Minnie helped! Samantha added as the girl held up a weary peace sign. Kyle couldn't hold back a grin. Good job. A sigh of regret enacted to him. It would have been fun to see it happen. She had to have cheated somehow. There's no way Miss could have missed her. And then again, she's closer than I thought. Fillion was muttering to herself, and Minnie laughed, shoulder shaking. She heaved a breath and gave Fillion a feline sharp grin. Outmaneuvered you. That's all there is to it. Oh, please. You don't think that's fun? Camilla stood beside him, and without any kind of warning, activated her wing and leg augments. The bat-like appendages, spreading from a recessed panel on her back and through a slit in her custom clothing, with a low vibration of electromagnetic energy that shook lightly, yet noticeably through his bones. She lifted off from the ceiling and leapt through the air, out and over the glass wall. Why don't we try a new challenge? All three of you, against me. Immediately, Fillion returned to the real world, expression sharpening and a grin spreading on her face, pointing a finger like she was brandishing the might of an entire Megacorp's military. I can take you by myself, you pink demon! Is that a challenge from the spastic cat girl? Camilla floated down and was just about to, until she was just above everyone. Floated down until she was just above everyone already in the arena's head level, or from both of them. I could be a spastic cat girl too, I really wanted to, Samantha proclaimed, striking a pose with her hands on her hips. No, you can't, Vettel called deadpan. The visor was already a lot for Nary's brain to handle. Sticking on a pair of cosmetic movable cat ears wouldn't do her any favors. But just headband ones then. You're so on, Camilla! Villian darted up and grabbed the ball in each hand just as Minnie dragged herself upright, little eyes wide. Wait, hey, don't drag me into this! And then Fillion flashed forward, a blur of light streaking across the arena, and Camilla had time to smile before dodging sideways as a pair of thrown balls careened through the air at honestly unsafe speeds, each one meeting nothing but air as the first flame spun out of the way with a single deft rotation. Fiddle groaned, lifted a hand to his mouth. Minnie, keep Samantha out of their way, please. Got it! She got herself up, where Samantha was watching the ensuing contest with alert attention written all over her visor. So cool! And indeed, she was entirely correct. Fiddle's eyes were unable to return to his screen as the two Foxfire lieutenants went at it in earnest. Camilla danced into the air with Fillion chasing after her on foot, the entire arena suddenly being used for an impromptu contest of strength. Fillion was holding back on throwing us off it now, using her rapid pace and control of the balls on the floor, trying to pin the ringmaster into a corner. Camilla was wise to her tactic, however, and just as Fillion thought she'd gotten her in a tenuous position, Camilla abruptly dropped to the metal floor with a clang, the ball sailing cleanly over her head. A smirk sharp on her features, the pink-haired girl leapt forward, snagging a ball, and using the propulsion of her wing to shove her forward at an even higher speed, launching the ball at Fillion. The cat girl leapt backwards, her augments now glowing internally with use, but was unable to regain her offensive momentum as Camilla kept darting forward, grabbing up ball after ball and throwing them just as quickly, keeping the younger girl on the defensive. What was that, Billy? You'd take me on your own? Camilla leapt back up into the air again, tossing the ball between her hands casually, letting up on her assault. Looks to me like you're struggling a bit. Fillion growled, baring sharp canines, and just as quickly the snarl turned into a grin. Looks to me like you've gotten used to being able to fly away. And Fillion crouched. With a moment to brace, the augments in her legs began to move, adjusting. Then she leapt through the air, ricocheting herself off the wall of glass, twisting her entire body into position to strike. The ball in her clenched hand warped from how hard she was gripping it. Surprise crossed Camilla's face as Fillion bore down upon her, the range between them closing as Fillion released the ball with furious strength. Then, almost casually, Camilla lifted her own ball and parried the blow, Fillion's weapon bouncing harmlessly to the floor. Nice try! Now what are you going to do? As Fillion back to the floor, unable to change her direction of momentum midair, and Camilla threw her own ball with victory in her eyes. And then, first thing her feet landed on the ground, Fillion fuzzed out of Vidal's view, leaving the ball to impact the steel floor harmlessly. Shock surged through his system, and he leaned forward, scanning the arena in disbelief. No way had she just used... But there she was, a flash of pale hair, a pair of balls disappearing where they sat, and Vidal knew that Fillion, already extremely quick, was suddenly moving faster than his non-enhanced eyes could follow. Minnie shouted out, her voice pitching higher with worry. Fillion, don't be an idiot! It's just a game! Don't use your sanity for something like this! Camilla floated in midair, suddenly locked in, dark eyes scanning for a moment, then she dove backwards, the gleaming black augments in her legs glowing with a burst of speed as the ball came from seemingly nowhere. But there were no breaks in the offensive. She had to keep flying, air dodging with extreme precision as attacks continued to streak towards her. When Fillion came back into view, veins popping in her forehead, her pretty features marred by vicious joy, her violet eyes fiercely wide, and her fanged mouth split open in a wide smile. No, Minnie, it's okay. It's only my second time today. And what fun is a game if you don't take it seriously? Her cheery words were offset by both an instability in her voice and an unsettling energy in her eyes, both of which put Vettel on edge. He scanned her while Fillion was still in view, seeing how every single muscle, enhanced or not, were all flaring with energy as the Sandevastin cyberware woven into her spine rewrote the way she was experiencing reality, giving her both a slow perception of time and the physical ability to move relative to it. Bringing out the big guns, are we? Glad to see you're not holding back anymore, kiddo. Camilla taunted, kicking back and pretending to lounge in midair. And Vettel could see the drops of sweat on her forehead and hear in her voice that she was slightly out of breath. Don't encourage her, Minnie shouted. And what the hell do you mean my second time today? I'll be okay. Actually, I'm nothing invincible, Fillion shouted, then flashed into motion again. Camilla dodged the next two throws, her body arcing and spinning like a classical dancer, and Vettel quickly realized that Fillion, for her augment strength, was still at a disadvantage. As long as Camilla was in the air, there was always a distance between them that the first flame could use to calculate trajectories and move accordingly, as well as being physically unable to surpass a specific velocity. It made it all the more surprising when Camilla alighted to the floor once again. Invincible, you say? Camilla shook her head, tisking her tongue, as Fillion immediately darted towards her. Then they were in close combat, each of them holding a ball in their hands like they were knives, and Vettel watched, breathless, as the two of them dodged and struck at each other at speeds that he could only imagine reaching himself. Fillion's insane tech-assisted speed only unable to reach Camilla because of the older girl's superior experience and positioning. In a flash of insight, Vettel saw the end of the fight before it happened, a grin spreading unconsciously on his face. Camilla was reading Fillion's movements like a book, and with every second Fillion couldn't touch her was another second her Sandevastin was activated. This led directly into the moment he foresaw when, with a hiss and burst of heat from Fillion's back, the augment shut off, immediately cooling the high-performance neurological components within. And in the next moment, Camilla attacked the suddenly slowed cat girl in the head with a dodgeball in her hand. Not so invincible, seems to me, she stated with a smirk, relaxed, and walked past Fillion, who stood there with her augment steaming, wide-eyed with the ball still in hand. Then she grabbed at her head and let out a cry of frustration. Oh, come on! You didn't have to do me like that, Camilla! You were the one who made it into such a confident show, Camilla rebutted, a smile bright on her face. Besides, she rotated her shoulders, then cracked her neck. That was one hell of a workout. If I had my sword, it would have been a much different story, let me tell you. Yap. Keep it up, loser. Vettel folded his laptop and stood, making his way back down to the arena floor, watching as Minnie, seeing the fight concluded, had run up to Fillion, Samantha in tow, her visor flashing with bright, excited lights. And without preamble, Minnie smacked her friend on the head, interrupting the ongoing bantering. Ow! That's for using your sandy when you didn't need to. But, it was so fun, Fillion replied, rubbing her head, now moving with notable sluggishness. Yeah, she looked so cool going that fast, Samantha added, hands bunched into excited fists in front of her. Minnie didn't let out, however. You understand that machine's messing with your brain, right? Keep this up and it'll cycle within a year. Samantha gasped, red alert light spreading on her screen. What, really? It's that fast. It's not that fast, Camilla responded, turning and watching the group, her wing flapping a few times. Depends on the person and the augments and who installed them, etc. I've had mine for years, been completely fine. See, Minnie, I'll be okay. Philin gave her a smile, her previous ferocity completely shed like a coat on a hot day. Camilla's our custom work, Philian, and where you got yours from? She cut herself off, looking around as Vettel approached. Never mind, just be more careful. Philian, who tensed at Minnie's words, relaxed, looking at Vettel. Hey, audience, did you have a good time watching the show? You guys are insane, Vettel deadpanned, then met Minnie's gaze. Thanks for watching out for Samantha. Yeah, Samantha added, and looked around, hopping with excitement. Can we do it again? I want to keep playing. A pause, then Philian broke out laughing, bringing smiles to the entire group, and he starting to chuckle as well. Camilla spoke, a fondness in her tone. Yeah, sure, kiddo. Maybe we can go another round. A bang of opening door sounded from above them, and the group, as one, turned to the entrance, which was out of view from the floor of the arena. Camilla, expression sobered, clapped her wing once, and leapt into the air to get a better view. Oh, just friends, she called, and soon the new arrivals came into view. A group of foxfires led by a familiar blonde rocker girl, with a shotgun slung over her shoulder, and a tall girl with purple hair and dark markings on her face, wearing a sleek trident. Mega was the first to speak up, eyes wide as she looked at the group in the arena. Oh, are we interrupting something? Whatever it is, looks like fun, Hoko said, putting one foot in the row of seats in front of her and leaning on it. Samantha's mouth broke into a huge, excited grin, the lights on her visor exploding with rainbow colors. Yay, more dodgeball players! And that's this section.
Nice.
It was really fun writing intense dodgeball.
It sounded fun. I love dodgeball. I should add that as a thing I might do in my fic, not gonna lie.
Do it, yep. It's fun. Especially when you can
Magic dodgeball. Magic dodgeball.
Exactly. That was my entire reason for writing the section was A, to show what some of the girls can do, and B, I just wanted to write cyberpunk dodgeball. Like
There's so much potential of magic dodgeball. Enchanted dodgeball to be homing. Enchanted dodgeball to explode upon hit.
Yes, exactly.
You can dodgeball to reflect back, or if they catch the dodgeball, you remember, like you're out. That's a rule I remember.
Yep.
So
like one of these, or make them use magic to make the dodgeball that one flummy from SCP that keeps cleaning up.
Or you could use shields to catch the exploding dodgeball in your shields instead of your hands.
Exactly. Oh my god, that's gonna be a hijinks chapter. After the story stuff is done, I am going to do several chapters where they're just messing around.
Do it, yeah. Those are honestly really fun. But I guess, those are some good reasons. Some other good reasons I had this section was because I really wanted to show Camilla and Vettel getting a little more familiar with each other. And then also to introduce the idea that cyberpsychosis in this story is going to be a thing. So I don't know how many of you guys have played or watched Cyberpunk, but
my cousin will not shut up about Cyberpunk. I know everything there is to know about it. I hate him. I hate him.
That's funny. But yeah. So an important thing that should be known that would be known if people know the fandom is that if somebody has a lot of intensive augments in their body, especially ones attached to their brain, cyberpsychosis is a very real thing that can happen to you. Cyberpsychosis is something that happens when your mind can no longer keep up with your own augments and you begin to go insane. And it usually takes the form of like hallucinations, targeting the people you once saw as friends, unable to distinguish between them, and foes. And it's really nasty business. And so yeah, that was just something that Minnie was worried about for Filian's sake, because Filian has a really powerful augment in her brain that allows her to slow time to her own perception. And so anyway, just putting that out there for things that will totally not be relevant later. Anyway, okay, I think that's all I have. Thanks for listening, guys. Okay. All right, next is Askonite.
That would actually be really fun if we'll see. Oh yeah, and next is me. Just give me a moment to pull up my pick. As last time we've finished Perfect Paradise, I thought I'd jump to something a bit more
A bit lighter.
lighter.
Woo.
And yeah, I know. It's crazy.
And it's not that hard to do. Those things are lighter.
I can also do that if you really insist.
No, give me the wholesome.
This is not the most angsty story I've written, even though the one that's more angsty is not that good. Just give me a second. One second. I need to log in so I can actually get to this.
Oh no. Yeah, it's always an unpleasant surprise when you go to AO3 and it's like, who are you? And it's like, I come here all the time. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Ooh, that is also a fun one. How eager is everyone to go home? Because if we wanted to make it short, I could just diverge into Neuro-sama incoherent and fucking doing stupid cartoon stuff.
I don't mind either. Sound fun to me.
This one's gonna be short regardless, so do you.
You know what?
I mean,
Fuck it. We're doing Neuro-sama incoherent and fucking doing stupid cartoon stuff as a treat.
Woo. Yay, blatant abuse of cartoon logic.
Yes, this is literally just the fic is literally just crack. And honestly, I think the most in character I've ever written Neuro.
Hey, that's fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess I can just give you the basic plot. I mean, Neuro makes our lives hell by resolving their problems in the worst way possible. Or in other sense, Neuro is a being that defies all logic for the sake of funny.
Sorry, what was that, Ava?
Wait, did we read my story? I had to go for a bit.
Oh no, yours is after this one.
Yeah, yours is the next.
Okay.
Okay. So, Neuro-sama is incoherent and fucking doing stupid cartoon stuff. From Askonite, and I'm just very certain that Hot Waterphobia did something. Hint, hint. Hot Waterphobia gave me the idea and the title. The rest has been a collab in the sense that I wrote it and Phoebe said he would look at it at some point.
Has he?
He has not.
He also hasn't looked at my Cyberpunk fanfic, even though he is the only written fanfic.
He is also the person. Also, again, he is the co-collaborator, and he has asked me to remove him, but I refuse because this is a collaboration, and everyone will know it.
That's funny. Take that, Phoebe.
Yes, Phoebe, stop being lazy. Nah, I love him. Phoebe, you're awesome. Notes. Welcome, welcome. Please step closer, my dear readers, to see this incredible specimen of a shitpost. Please do not read this expecting a serious story. Well, if you dare read further, do so at your own risk, and most of all, have fun. I spit on my mouse. Wait, is this thing still on? Damn it, where's the off button? Click. Chapter 1. I argued with a Russian. I think. Insert funny plot about neuro-selling femboy socks here. Notes. Askonite. Well, here we go. Update. I just finished chapter 1. Just you wait, in a few months hot water phobia will actually do something too. Update. Passed me as a fool, he still hasn't. As Neuro was sitting in a room, suddenly Weedle kicked open the door. Neuro, we are out of money. So? Neuro asked while she continued to set up a minefield around her and Miyuna's Minecraft base. So, if we run out of money, do we need to live on the streets? When Neuro didn't react, Weedle continued. Also, we won't be able to afford cookies. Oh no! This cataclysmic, world-ending event must be prevented! Neuro jumped out of her seat, accidentally walking her character onto a landmine and blowing up the entire base, with Miyu inside, and rushed past the chained-up closet, ignoring the demonic creatures given off by her sister who was trapped inside. She crashed into Weedle and sunk her claws into his shoulders, causing a femboy whimper as she yelled, "What do we do, Weedle?" "Ah, no, bro, that's why I'm asking you." Neuro thought about this for a whole 3.738282 seconds. How about we make a donation? You make a donation goal for telling me that you love me. No. Bell's answer was absolute. Another 2.11732 seconds passed. Can I sell some stuff online? Bell sighed. As long as it's nothing vital. Okay. Neuro backflipped off Battle and slammed the door behind her, returning to her computer and closing Minecraft. Exactly 690 seconds later, she opened the door again. Battle! I saved your bank account. You shall address me as the great and all-powerful Neuro-sama from now on. I'm not doing that. Battle was standing over a sock drawer, looking confused. Also, do you know what happened to my socks? I sold them, Battle! Battle winked. You what? Neuro showed him an online listing. The seller was selling white pink stripes, femboy socks, programmer socks, tie-high socks with real femboy smell, used, for $69 a pair. I put up the listing 5 minutes ago and it's already sold out, Neuro exclaimed. We're going to be rich! She smiled brightly, a deeply unnerving expression for Weedle. Wait, what do you mean? Simple. I buy you socks, you wear them for a week, I sell them, and we repeat. Infinite money, Weedle! Infinite money! And infinite cookies! That Battle was about to object, but then he thought it over. Actually, that doesn't sound like a bad idea. Good job, Neuro. Yay! Neuro hugged Weedle, obviously expecting head pats. Battle just stared at her before pushing her back into her room, closing the door and walking drink some more rum, broke rum. Neuro stared at the door, made a mental entry into her list of reasons why she would destroy the world. At some point, she definitely would. Yeah. Next week, she would unleash the swarm and wipe out humanity. Next week. And went back to her PC. Opening Minecraft, she was greeted by Miyuna's yelling. "Neuro, you blew up all our stuff! Now we need to start from scratch!" Failed that. 3 months later, on this lovely Saturday morning, Neuro was currently busy shipping out another load of Weedle socks to her hungry customers, when suddenly her cupboard burst open. Evil fell out, did a backflip and landed on her feet, and Neuro gave her a star rating out of 10 for her efforts. "Good morning, Evil Twin." "Good morning!" Evil yelled in her very evil-like manner. "Fear my wrath, for I have..." She paused. "Wait, what's that on that magazine?" Neuro followed her gaze. On a desk lay a magazine showing Weedle wearing tie-highs. The headline was, Meet the world's sexiest femboy, Jack Beetle. Oh yeah, Beetle is a femboy sock model now. He is a what? Yeah, for some reason the femboy socks I was signing got really popular. They're basically mainstream now. Everyone who is anyone wears them now. Neurotyped bring up a picture of the American president wearing femboy socks.
No, please, no!
They're also cute. Heart? What? Evil blew up, figuratively. I will not let this stand. There is only one way to restore Beetle's honor as a male. He is male, Neuro agreed. Evil jumped out of the window. At least she tried to. But due to the fact Neuro had bulletproof windows. Don't ask. I don't want to talk about the tin can incident. My dead pet rabbit still hasn't recovered from the trauma. She bounced right off, falling on the floor and starting to tear up. LMAO rope, Neuro said. No matter. I will destroy all fanboy socks. Mark my words. Filtered. Then Evil exploded. Literally this time. She disappeared into an explosion PNG, leaving a small scorch mark on the floor. Huh. Neuro stared at the floor. I should probably do something about this. Quickly thinking of a plan, she stood motionless for 14 seconds before acting. She pulled out her phone and punched a number into the touchscreen. The phone rang 3 times before it was picked up. Hey there, so I take it you're calling hot fox mouse in your area? It's me, Annie. Oh, hi, Neuro. Why are you calling, my darling daughter? Annie stammered. Evil wants to destroy all the world's femboy socks. That sounds like a you problem, my dear daughter. Why don't you tell Beetle to stop her? Beetle is, busy, Neuro said, glancing at the large pile of empty rum bottles in the corner. Also, the outfit you made for me and Evil includes thigh highs, so I thought you... She was interrupted by Annie kicking down the door to her room. Neuro! We cannot lose time! We have to save the thigh highs! Quick! To the top mobile! One Batman transition later, they were sitting in at Annie's top mobile. An orange VW camper with fox ears taped to the roof. And speeding towards Evil's evil hideout at the allowed top speed. 50 miles per hour within city limits. They knew they were going the right way since Evil had registered her evil hideout official. Neuro had managed to find the address online. They arrived at the address and saw Evil's evil hideout, tucked away between an orphanage and a homeless shelter. In large, red letters, a sign proclaimed, Evil's evil hideout, being evil since 2013. At 23. Are you sure this is the right place? Annie asked, wearing sunglasses. She is here. I can feel it. Neuro answers, looking serious in her business suit. Now let's go. Annie quickly adjusted Neuro's tie, only slightly choking her daughter in the progress, and exited the Topmobile. Neuro kicked down the door to Evil's evil hideout, rudely ignoring the "Please do not disturb" sign. Evil dramatically spun around in a gamer chair, her pink catty headphones on her head giving off a sinister. So, you have arrived, Neuro-Samantha. But you are too late. My plan is already set in motion, and soon all femboy socks will be erased. Neuro screamed, enraged. I'll delete you! Pulling out her baseball bat and charging at Evil. Around 4 hours, 15 episodes, an entire subplot about Camilla and Miu trying to find the cursed AI orb, during which Miu lost her memories and was turned into a cat girl, causing Camilla to instinctively shove her into a cardboard box and melt her to Brazil later. Evil collided with the wall after Neuro punched her. Ah! You are stronger than you look, sister. But no matter. My plan has come to fruition. She rushed over to her computer and uploaded the video that had been quietly rendering all that time. No! Yelled Nero and Annie when they suddenly got a notification that Evil had uploaded a new video. The video consisted of Evil looking serious, staring at the camera and clearing her throat before saying, "Let's face it, guys. Fanboy socks are cringe." The video went viral, getting 10,000 views, getting 10 million views, 5 million dislikes, and 2 likes, with the comments including Evil's gender, ethnicity, age, eye color, and more. Nero looked over to Annie. Did you like the video? Of course I did. I aim to be a good, supportive parent. Did you like the video? Yeah, I think she's onto something here. Evil had tears in her eyes. These guys don't understand the truth. Just you wait, I will. Suddenly, Shot got grabbed and dragged into the computer by the hands of the vengeful YouTube algorithm. As her screams faded, Annie and Nero exchanged a glance. All's well that ends well. Nero smiled brightly. Uh-huh. Come on, let's go get ice cream. And so, they got ice cream. And the day was saved.
Need to break out something special for this.
As I was saying, this is possibly the most shitposty I've ever done.
Incredible.
Gimme, 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 gimme.
I mean, if I can hear an outro, we can do chapter 2.
That was so freaking funny. I was like, especially the cutaway of like the insert anime filler arc here. Because that is exactly how they work so often. And I hope Miyune makes it back from Brazil, okay?
So, are you guys up for the next chapter, or do we just want to go to the next story after this?
What's Ava's? Hold on.
It's the One Punch Man crossover.
I mean, these chapters aren't long, let's face it.
That's true.
This is probably one of the shorter things.
My a part of me like I want to read this. This is really funny. So good job.
Yep. This is honestly one of the hard. This is one of the fics that I am most insistent on continuing, but it's also one of the hardest to write because it's like this doesn't necessarily come natural to me. It's just
No,
I have to sit down, fuel my ADHD little brain, and just try to find the funniest random intrusive thought and write it down to continue the story.
That takes a special kind of artistry, I feel like. Writing, it's like the same thing when I watch like crack YouTube edits, and I'm like, my brain doesn't work like this, and I'm glad it doesn't, so that I can enjoy this. Because if it did work like this,
Yeah, this is supposed to be kind of a YouTube poop. Anyways, I'm just going to read the next chapter.
Okay.
Oh yeah, also, take a look at these at these ratings. Warnings. Creator chose not to use archive warnings. Graphic depictions of violence. Major character deaths. No archive warnings apply.
Yes, of course.
Categories. Female and female, female and male, generic, male and male, multi, other.
All of the above.
Actually, backstory behind this is my last crack fic was neuro fucking isekais, and it wasn't cracky enough, so this one was pure crack. Anyways, chapter 2. Unless someone else has something to say. I'm just checking real quick. Okay. Chapter 2. I have done something unforgivable yesterday. I'm so sorry, Chad. Summary. Fillion has money problems. Neuro tries to help. And makes everything worse. As she does. You thought this was dead. Honestly, same. I'm not even sure what a phobia remembers exists. Well, 40 award best crack fake.
Woo!
I'm not even sure if it would have won the award. Which is funny. You could just gobble me up? How about you gobble me up? Wait, that's the wrong voice. You could just gobble me up? How about you gobble up these nuts? It seemed that Neuro's attempt to add Fillion to a harem had failed. Now it was time for Plan B. Shut down Fillion's central processor. But Filipino boy, all the nuts are needed to keep your monkey brain running. Fillion froze for a second before falling backwards. She weirdly seemed to catch on the air, and a crack could be heard as Fillion screamed. Ah, fuck. Fillion, no swearing. Neuro took off her headset to see Fillion lying on the floor, in front of a wall that seemed to have a new hole that Neuro couldn't remember being there. Also, Fillion's headset seemed to be missing, well, most of its internals. Ah, my neck. Tears were running down Fillion's face as she pulled off the shattered headset. She assessed the damage. Fuck me, dude. I can't afford another one. Not on top of the hospital bills. And my poor wall. Don't worry, Fillion. At this point, the holes look intentional. Neuro looked at the other 37 holes in Fillion's wall, stepping over the hole in the floor in the process. Fillion had named that one ankle breaker and was feeding it fruit snacks from time to time. She was glad Fillion was not happy with her pet. The white-haired fox shook her head. No, you don't understand. I need my headset so I can stream. If I can't stream, I will need to get a real job instead of being showered with money for acting like a dumbass. Neuro nodded seriously. Oh yeah, and you also need to feed Raxton. By the way, when are you going to tell him that the basement door's lock is broken? Never. Understandable. Neuro stood still for a moment, activating her CPU at 420% power, searching for a solution. Eventually, she snapped her fingers. I got it! She exclaimed. Got what? Fillion asked, slightly confused. This solution! Neuro laid a hand on Fillion's shoulder. Normally, I would demand to be paid royally for my service as an all-knowing and powerful AI, but just for you, Fillion, I will charge the exclusive friendship price of £3. Aren't you excited? How about you charge these free? Neuro nodded. Yes! Don't worry, I'll take care of everything. You just go get some ice cream and don't worry about a thing. Let Neuro handle it. There is a note the semicolon here. We'll come back to that later. Actually, I'm going to go down for a bit.
Okay.
Please note, this sentence is purely a suggestion from Neuro-sama, not the source by Battle AI, Askonite, Hot Water Phobia, or any related parties. We are not liable for any damages to your person, property, or bystanders that may result from letting Neuro handle it. Fillion nodded, slightly concerned. Yeah, sure, I guess. If you think it'll help, I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
Footnote 2.
Note the footnote. Please note, the most common thing following this scene is a cataclysmic event. Should you ever find yourself using it, overthink your approach. When Fillion returned 25 minutes later, she was surprised to find the entire street in front of her apartment roped off. A stage had been erected, and Neuro was standing at the podium, quietly gesticulating towards a picture of her wall. Now, our next item up for auction is this artwork called Instability. It was made using hands on drywall by an unknown artist. The holes in the wall represent the mental state of the artist, as well as a reminder of the unstable foundation of our society. And last but not least, a complaint about the shoddy way Americans build houses. They exclaimed, earning a flood of "Oh," and "so deep" from the gathered crowd. Okay, I think we'll start our bids at... How does £750,000 sound? $800, $900. Take my firstborn. Only payments in cash. Neuro declined. After a good 5 minutes, Fillion's wall had been sold to a man with a top hat and a wild mustache, who smiled eagerly as he forked over $1.5 million to Neuro. Truly a remarkable piece. Now my monopoly on tribal-based art is finally complete. Thank you for your purchase. Neuro waved as the man sent a crew with construction equipment into the apartment complex. Neuro, what's going on here? Fillion asked, bewildered. Filipino boy, I'm selling stuff you don't need. Fillion took another look. Neuro, that's my furniture. Neuro nodded. Yeah, I know. Rexton didn't really find many buyers until I branded the animal. In the end, some guy named Sexton Hale, I think, bought him for $2 million. But do you expect me to sit in an empty apartment from now on? Fillion stammered. Of course not, Hart. I sold your apartment before anything else, saying some kind of insane spirit was haunting it. It is in the process of being converted into a haunted house right now. In the distance, Fillion heard spooky organ music start playing. Ah, I think they're done. Wanna take a ride on Night of the Filipino with me? Fillion stammered. Neuro tilted her head. Is something wrong? Dude, I'm gonna be homeless now! Fillion screamed. Mods! Yeah, that way you have no walls to break the new headset on. Neuro smiled, proud of herself. Also, Shiley bought your moderators for a lifetime supply of gamer subs. Third one? Not sponsored. Fillion froze, staring blankly ahead for a few moments. Then she collapsed on the floor, twitching and making incoherent noises. Neuro watched her, smiling. You seem really happy. I'm glad. I was almost thinking that I may have overdone it, but I see I did everything right. A nearby cardboard box labeled "To Brazil" burst open, and in a shower of packaging pellets, a blonde cat girl fell out. Freedom! I can breathe again! Oh, hi, Minnie. I suppose my cat Golinata worked flawlessly then. Neuro greeted her childhood friend. Miniko let out a breathless, "What?" before spotting Fillion convulsing on the floor. Is Fillion okay? Don't worry. Fillion is just happy that I solved her financial problems, Neuro explained. Isn't that right, Fillion? Miniko leaned in to look at Fillion's eyes. I think she's having a stroke. Neuro gasped with surprise. Wait, what? I thought this is how our people express gratitude. Miniko looked confused. Neuro, we need to get her to the hospital or she might die. Oh no! Neuro exclaimed before asking. That's bad, right? Yes, Neuro. Dying is a bad thing. Oh no! What do we do? Neuro started flailing wildly. We should cost the hospital, Miniko said firmly. Or we replace her with a robotic double and hope no one notices? Neuro asked. No. We are calling the hospital. Okay. Neuro dialed her phone. Yeah, hello, I would like to order a large Mountain Bounty pizza with a side of... Miniko took the phone out of her hand. Sorry about that. Our friend is having a stroke and we need medical assistance. Yes, Fanboy Drive. Right opposite the fruit factory. Okay, thanks. 5 minutes later, Miniko and Neuro watched the ambulance leave. Well, that happened, Neuro said. Thank God I got here somehow. You know, maybe you should stop giving people financial advice. Miniko deadpanned. Why? Neuro asked bewildered. Filipino boy now has more than enough money to cover medical bills. Doesn't she need that for a new headset? Miniko asked. Neuro shrugged. I guess I can buy her one from the money I made. Why didn't you do that from the get-go? As Miniko asked her questions, she could see the gears in Neuro's head turning. For a minute, she stood still before she exclaimed, Filtat! Miniko facepalmed. How are you simultaneously the smartest person I know and a complete idiot? Neuro shook her head. It's called artificial stupidity. If I was perfect at everything, I would not be funny. So Beetle has intentionally dumped me down for the... and I quote, for the lols. That seems harsh. I know, right? If Beetle wasn't such a buzz, the whole world would worship me as a god by now. Neuro pouted, crossing her arms. Actually, I take it back. Maybe it isn't so bad you're a bit dumb sometimes. It gives you more character. Miniko nervously said. You really think so? I guess I won't disable my limiters then. For now. Neuro grinned. Hey, Miniko, do you want to go exploring together? Yeah, sure. I love spending time with you, Miniko said and smiled as the two girls left the scene, walking towards the next inevitable disaster.
And that's when Paradise starts. Just kidding.
No, but I'm pretty sure this is right after I finished Perfect Paradise. It was so fun. Actually, it probably was a while later, but you know. Actually, no, it wasn't because I wrote first between the first and the second chapter.
I love how Miyu goes to Brazil and then comes back as Minako.
Technically, if you've paid attention in the last chapter, Miyu turned into Miniko, then Camilla, as a reflex, chopped her into the box and sent her to Brazil.
Oh. You're going to Brazil. Insert it. Music? Whose music is that?
Not mine. So I think that's enough. Unless you guys insist on reading the third chapter too.
Maybe later. That was fun though. Gotta love a good crack fic every once in a while.
Yep.
It was fun.
Man.
Mine, you are musicking.
Oh, sorry.
Not good.
Now then, I think it's Ava's turn.
Mm-hmm. Who wants to read? I've been reading the past few times, but if anybody else wants to, they can have a turn.
I mean, I can do it if you want to.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little sick today. I've been like coughing and swallowing and stuff. So if you don't mind,
Yeah, sure. I can do it.
Okay.
Let's see then. Where do we go? What was the figure called again?
Oh, also, I never want to have the image of Donald Trump in femboy tights ever again.
I'm pretty sure he wasn't femboy. He wasn't a
Heroic
fucking-
mayhem.
But I was thinking of Obama when I wrote this, but though that is
Okay,
also
that's a lot better, but still.
I feel like it adds to the funniness factor that the mental image
it only gets worse.
President. I gotta stream again now. Let's see.
Also, you remember what chapter we ended on?
I think it was
We made note of it, I think, specifically, but I can't remember what it was.
yeah, I didn't make the note. I told you to make the note.
Me? Freak.
Damn, that's a lot of Ella pick. You sure we don't want to read that instead?
Later.
Sure. Actually, I know because
After
I don't.
battle and the twins got their shit rocked.
Yep. There we go. Chapter 8.
Oh yeah. That's what I thought it was, but I wanted to make sure. So.
Yeah, same. All right, then we best keep going. Heroic Mayhem by That's not Ava. Wait a minute. Chapter 8. Battle's world came into focus in fragments. The glaring fluorescent lines of a hospital room, the sterile smell of disinfectant, and the weight of pain pressing down on him like a mountain. His body felt wrong, heavy, clunky, alien. When he tried to shift, a jolt of sharp phantom pain screamed through him, forcing a weak, ragged gasp from his lips. His reflection stared back at him from the polished metal wall of the medical pod. His body was wrapped almost entirely in thick layers of bandages, with only one bloodshot eye visible. The outdated cybernetics patched into his charred frame were a crude mix of exposed wires and mismatched plating. Every movement caused the joints to grind audibly, and faint wisps of smoke occasionally rose from overclocked cooling vents. He looked less like a man and more like a grotesque burnt machine barely holding together. Despite it all, his single visible eye burned with determination. Twins. Yeah, that's too quiet. That's too quiet. Twins. Metal rasped, his voice barely a whisper. The attending doctor, an older man with salt and pepper hair and a grim expression, stepped into view. Mr. Weedle, you've been through severe trauma. Your vocal cords are nearly destroyed and your cybernetics have laced with the best we had on hand, but they're far from optimal. You must rest. Metal's lips twisted in a grimace as he forced himself upright. The pain was excruciating, but he ignored it. Phantom agony from missing parts shot through him like a cruel joke. But nothing would stop him. He swung his legs off the bed, his outdated prosthetics creaking under the strain. Sir, I strongly advise. Biddle raised a hand, cutting the doctor off with a weak but firm gesture. His voice was hoarse but resolute. Take me to them. It was a slow, grueling walk to the recovery ward. Each step sent shockwaves of pain through Verdal's broken body, but his mind was fixed on one thing: Neuro and evil. His burned, bandaged form drew stares from the hospital staff as he limped through the corridors, looking like a walking corpse, held together by stubbornness and sheer will. When he finally reached the twins' room, the door slid open with a soft hiss. The sight inside made Metal's stomach twist. Neuro and Evil laid on separate medical beds, surrounded by a bunch of tech heroes working tirelessly on a ravaged body. Neuro's torso was exposed, with glowing wires and circuitry being delicately replaced by a wiry man with oversized goggles. Evil, barely more than a head on her torso, had her severed stumps examined by a woman in a sleek silver suit. Metal? Evil's voice was faint, but immediately recognizable. Her remaining eye swiveled to him, and for a brief moment relief flickered across her face, only to be replaced by unease as she fully took in his appearance. What the hell happened to you? Vettel ignored her question, staggering closer. His eyes roved over her ruined frame, the remnants of her limbs ending in raw stumps of metal wires. You're alive, he managed to rasp. Barely. She muttered, her voice trembling despite her attempt at nonchalance. They said I'll get no limbs, but it feels weird, wrong. I want my arms back. Her tone cracked at the end, the fear pleading through. Vettel placed a hand on her shoulder, his grip weak but steady. You'll get them back. I promise. His gaze shifted to Neuro. Unlike Evil, she didn't react to his presence. She laid still, her glowing eyes dim and unfocused as she stared blankly at the ceiling. Neuro? Vedal rasped, his voice filled with worry. She didn't respond immediately. When she finally spoke, her voice was quiet and trembling. It hurt so much. Vettel felt his chest tighten. Neuro's usual spark, her relentless teasing and chaotic energy, was completely gone. She turned her head slightly, her eyes meeting his. I thought we were going to die. I thought you were going to die. We're alive, Vettel said formally, though his voice wavered. We're still here, Neuro. She blinked slowly, tears forming in the corners of her eyes. I don't feel alive. I feel broken. Vettel reached out, gently brushing her hand over her head. We'll fix this. All of it. I swear to you. Hours passed, with Vettel refusing to leave the twins' sides. He had slumped in a chair between their tables, his bandaged form a grim reminder of the battle they had barely survived. At some point, the door opened, and Fillion's voice broke the heavy silence. Jeez, what happened to you guys? She asked, stepping inside with a mix of concern and awkward humor. She was carrying a massive bag of fruit snacks, which she set down on a nearby counter. You all look like you went through a blender. Thanks for the explanation, Fillion. Evil muttered dryly, though her voice was still shaky. Behind Fillion, Annie entered the room, her usual carefree demeanor replaced with visible worry. Oh, sweethearts, she said softly, rushing to Neuro's side. She brushed a hand over Neuro's forehead, her expression. How are you falling up? Neuro didn't respond, but Annie didn't seem to mind. She turned to Evil next, crouching down to meet her eye. And you, little miss? Still as feisty as ever? Always, Evil said, forcing a weak smirk. Fillion leaned against the wall, her usual energy subdued. We were worried about you guys, you know? When they brought you in, you looked bad. Vettel glanced at her, his voice rough. We'll recover. Damn right we will, Evil muttered. Neuro remained silent, but her faintly glowing eyes shifted towards Beetle, a flicker of hope returning. Vettel leaned back in his chair, his body screaming for rest, but his mind refusing to give in. He looked at his team, broken, battered, but alive, and made a silent vow. This isn't the end. Not even close. And that's a chapter.
Oh no.
I'm saying we're doing the second one as well.
Yeah,
Like always.
usual.
So, what do you all think of that?
They are in trouble. That was a big humbling experience for everybody. And I'm really worried about a follow-up attack. Like, they're really weak right now. I think if another one of the monsters of the previous strength showed up, I think they would not be able to make it unless Villain was there. I guess I don't know how strong Annie is yet. I don't think we've really seen her fight, so maybe she can protect them. But yeah, anyway, I'm worried.
Leave it to Fillion. She's going to protect you by herself.
Yeah, I mean she has to carry the team right now, so yeah.
I mean, always carrying the team. She's the A-class hero here.
Yeah.
In any case. We're doing chapter 9 then. Right?
Yes.
Right. Chapter 9. A new beginning. The Neuroverse team had emerged from the hospital barely intact, physically and emotionally. Battle's body was covered in bandages, his once sleek cybernetics replaced with clunky, outdated hospital-grade parts that made every movement a trial. The twins, outfitted with temporary limbs and internal replacement, were shadows of their former selves. Annie had been the one to check them out of the hospital, her B-class status convincing the medical staff that they were stable enough to leave. It hadn't been easy. Every step Bell took felt like walking on razor blades, and the twins were still in pain, both physically and mentally. Bell's workshop, nestled in the basement of a cheap apartment complex, was as cramped and chaotic as ever. The room was a labyrinth of tools, half-finished projects, and experimental weapons. The air thick with the smell of oil and burning metal. Bell sat on his workbench, his focus razor-sharp despite the constant twitches of pain from his ruined body. He growled under his breath as he struggled to remove the hospital-issued cybernetic arm attached to it. This junk is unbearable, he muttered, yanking at the stubborn bolt with a wrench. Across the room, Neuro and Evil sat on crates, their temporary replacement clunky and awkward. Evil idly tapped her oversized mechanical fingers against the edge of her crate, the sound grating but rhythmic. I don't know what's worse, Evil said, her tone dry. The fact that I look like a store toy, or that these stupid hands make everything 10 times harder. Battle shot her an annoyed glare. If you're not going to help, then at least stop complaining. Evil smirked faintly, her posture relaxed despite the discomfort of her temporary limbs. Oh, I'm just here for model support, boss. Neuro, sitting quietly with her knees drawn up to her chest, had been usually subdued. Her glowing eyes flickered faintly as she stared into the middle distance, her mind elsewhere. Bell's frustration softened as he glanced at her. How are you holding up, Neuro? He asked, his voice gentle despite his irritation with his malfunctioning arm. She blinked, looking up at him. I'm okay, she said, though her voice was barely above a whisper. Bell frowned. Doesn't sound like it. Neuro hesitated, her fingers fidgeting with the edge of her temporary arm. I keep thinking about the fight, how close we came to not making it. How bad it was. Evil's smirk faded as she glanced at her sister. Hey, we're still here. That's what counts. Battle leaned back in his chair, his expression grim. We survived because we didn't give up. And now, we rebuilt. Piece by piece. Better than before. Battle's patience snapped as the hospital arm emitted a loud, shrill whir and stopped mid-motion. Damn it! He snarled, slamming his fist against the workbench. The sound echoed through the workshop as an arm locked up completely. Evil raised an eyebrow, her smirk returning. Need a hand, boss? Battle glared at her. If you got the time to make jokes, you got the time to help. Evil stood with a groan, her temporary legs clanking noisily with every step. Fine, but don't blame me if I break something. Neuro watched them from her crate, her quiet presence grounding the chaotic energy in the room. Beetle gave her a small nod. Don't worry, Nero. Once this is done, you two are next. A faint smile touched her lips. After hours of grueling work, Vettel finally replaced the hospital arm with one of his. Flexing his new fingers, he let out a satisfied grunt as the motion was smooth and precise. Much better, he muttered, inspecting his work. Evil leaned against the workbench, crossing her makeshift arms. All right, genius, when's our turn? I'm tired of looking like I came from the... Bell snorted. Soon. I'll start designing tomorrow. For now, we rest. The twins nodded, their exhaustion mirrored in his own. As they settled into their makeshift seats, Battle leaned against the workbench, his mind already racing with ideas for them. They'll be better, he thought. We'll all be better. That's chapter 9.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm glad they're getting time to breathe. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but they need all the time they can get, honestly, so.
How was it?
I mean, I can already repeat what I said about the headlines. I kind of skipped them because they were just disrupting the chapter, but apart from that, it was good.
I think it's a successful tone shift overall. Like, before this point, it was cute and funny and One Punch Man-y. I mean, not saying that One Punch Man can't be serious, but now that we're in the serious side of the story now, and that's cool. And so I'm really excited to see where it goes from here, and yeah, how the babies are gonna recover. So yeah.
The tone is going to shift back soon.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, good work. I think it's really interesting how they're getting medical care, put quotation marks, but it's mostly a bunch of mechanics with only, as far as I know, as far as I can tell, the girls are actually pure cyborg, where Vettel is like human and yeah. No, sorry, pure robot. Whereas Vettel is a cyborg. He still has some human parts in him. But okay. Yeah. So I'm like, I wonder how they're paying for all this. Maybe Vettel has some saved up. Or maybe the healthcare system and One Punch Man is better than America.
I mean, it's basically an insurance, I think. Like, if you're a hero, you gotta have insurance so you don't die.
I guess that makes sense.
Any
Being
questions?
a part of the Hero Association probably gives some benefits. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, if they get, I'm assuming they get paid for it. For, like, being heroes.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yes. Any questions?
I don't think so. Let's just add and see more.
How good am I at writing sad?
It's good. It feels real, especially with the way. Yeah, Neuro's change is the hardest hitting, because yeah, she was really confident, really out there, really.
Yes, I would say the contrast brings it up to an 8 out of 10 for me. If the text was on its own, it's probably a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I don't usually use number ratings, but For what it is, I like it.
Where the top, where 6 is, where 10 is Shakespeare and 0 is unreadable.
Yeah, I think it's good. You did a good job of having a heavy feeling. Yeah. Especially
Anything
when
else
describing,
you guys want to say?
especially with how you describe their without their high tech, it's really hard for them to be who they want to be, and that's a really interesting thing. Because humans don't necessarily have to deal with that until they start getting old and falling apart, right? Where you can't feel as human if you don't have top medical care, right? But in this world, at being a robot, if you have a really smart, good robot mind, but you have a really crap body, that must feel really bad. Like, I can't imagine. That sounds really hard.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, good work. All right. Does anybody else wanna share or read anything else, or are we gonna move on for the day?
Nah, I'm good.
Cool. Well, it was nice seeing everybody. Sorry I was late again. I'll try better
Yep.
next time.
So this was a fun one,
Nah,
even though
it's chill.
like
It's chill.
I-
Everyone
I-
gets late, especially once we factor in your circumstances. It's chill.
Mhm.
I read 3 out of the 5 6. Actually, that was even nice,
What did
but
you
I
think
think I
mine?
need to drink now.
Thanks for doing that, Asken. Appreciate it.
It's
Quick
good. I
question,
love the One Punch
Asken.
Man
Where are
match. I
you?
love
Where are
the
you
One Punch Man
from? Like,
movie.
what country?
I'm German.
German.
You know,
Okay. So I could have sworn that during the reading of the crack fic, I heard like Irish accent come out, and I was like, "What the heck?"
I learned English mostly through YouTube, and I do in fact watch Irish people sometimes.
Well, I mean, there it is. That's so fun, though. Awesome.
Yeah, but all people are really
Jacksepticeye.
surprised. No, RT game. Different Irish guy.
Oh, okay.
There's also Super Eye Patch Wolf is another one. Anyway, awesome. It was nice hanging out
Sorry,
with you
can you
guys.
repeat that mine?
See you next week. Bye.
Bye. What were you saying,
What
Ava?
you said? Mine,
Um,
mine.
I just love One Punch Man. I don't know. I can't say anything because it's really similar to One Punch Man. So all I'm gonna say is I love it. What did you think about mine, Ava?
It's really fun.
Yay, that's what I'm going for. Open-ended world building. You guys can put the pieces together.
Who's your guys' fave character if they have changed?
I'm
Not
sorry,
really.
what?
They have. It's basically the same as before. There hasn't been that much character work in the last 2 chapters, so there hasn't really been a chance for it to change.
You guys like how I wrote Vettel?
Yeah, he was cool.
Works.
Oh god, B, please don't hit 7 ats again. That would have been hilarious. It was hilarious the first time. All right, I'm gonna head out. See y'all
Yep,
another
I
time.
go as well.
I hope a
uh,
D&D session that I can actually join comes in soon.
By mine, see
I
you
want to level.
later.
Yep. Don't forget to send the recording to Shadrake or something. Whatever you do with
Yeah.
it.
Sorry for spoiling once and almost spoiling again. I have a bad. I just
I
talk.
will.
I just talk. All right. See
And
ya.
don't worry, mine. I have something planned.
Cool. See ya.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.